Hello and welcome to DCP Live episode number 230, the Diecast Pokeball edition.
Yes.
Watts, you have experience.
If you threw
right?
a diecast Pokeball at somebody, would it kill them or would they just get trapped in the Pokeball?
It depends how hard you throw it, I think.
Oh,
It's really heavy.
Velocity type of stuff.
As hard as a professional softball pitcher.
Oh, a little underarm thing?
Pretty hard. I feel like that's a good 75, 85 miles an hour.
You throw it, and it goes on the chin. Boop.
Yeah.
Big.
Cracks your chin and then
Cracks your
pops
chin.
open and then you're stuck in this encasing for the rest of your life.
Yeah, with a broken jaw.
Sounds
And no
horrible.
medical attention.
Good Lord. Pokemon is like awful. Can't
Pokemon
believe-
is pretty dark. Yeah, it really
Yeah.
is.
How do you
you're-
people
you're
play
like-
this
Have you
disgusting
ever really
game?
thought about Pokemon?
You're enslaving these cute animals and then forcing them to fight other cute animals
Unbelievable.
when they were just chilling in the wild, having a good time. Unbelievable.
Wait, what is the story behind the Pokeball, the diecast? thing?
So it's like a limited thing or something.
By the
It's a
way,
limited...
so people know Tomo has this,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, I will post the tweet if Tobias will allow me to use my keyboard. Please hold.
Watts is currently getting filtered by Cat from her microphone.
It's this is going well. This is what
That's
happens when
the
it's
new blue.
It's going to be an action-packed show,
Yeah.
FYI.
It's the new blue cat filter.
Tons of
right now.
Destiny news to talk about.
Tons.
So yeah, Tomo got it's $100 die-cast Pokeball.
That's the appropriate
So-
price for a diecast Pokeball.
Diecast Pokeball. Drop $100 in that. Okay.
That's metal.
Yeah.
You know?
It's
That's
metal.
not some
You could melt that
plastic-ass Pokeball.
It also lights up.
It lights up.
Yeah, both the Pokeball and the case that it comes with.
Is it rechargeable or does it take double A's?
I believe it takes double A's.
Oh,
Although the
interesting.
Pokeball might be rechargeable.
Were batteries included?
I think so.
Are you
I
able?
think so. Because it did. Because it worked right away.
Okay. Well, did it work right away because he put batteries into it, or did it work right away because it had
No.
it had a charge in it?
I'm pretty sure it had a charge. I'm pretty
Is
sure.
it
was
USB-C?
good. I don't think so. I
Look,
think
we're
it's.
gonna need some answers about
I
this
d-
diecast
I
Pokeball.
don't know
Yeah.
anything about it.
Can you capture a Pikachu with it?
You could kill a Pikachu with it. Probably.
You could knock a Pikachu unconscious from blunt force trauma.
It's not. It's an RGB metal ball.
I think
The
you could
RGB
knock a
adds at
bear
least
unconscious
20
with that
pounds.
thing.
Grizzly? Are we talking Grizzly or just a standard black bear?
It changes
Oh,
color.
standard black bear. Let's not get ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean Grizzly. Let's be honest.
Grizzlies are big bears.
Grizzly's
right?
gonna take a hit from a Pokeball and be like, "What are you even doing?
You have angered me.
Do you realize what you've done?"
Eating you was
Oh.
a joke up till now.
I have some answers actually.
Okay.
So it does not charge, but it comes with the display box and the ball that changes color, lights up with different colors. Very exciting.
Do the different colors mean it's got a different kind of Pokemon inside?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So like
Uh-huh.
if it lights up yellow, it's got like a
piss Pokemon?
a Pikachu, a piss powered Pokemon.
Power of the urine Pokemon?
So here's the
Or a
actual.
warlock. It's a warlock
Pokemon?
Pokemon.
That cat is just having its way with your desk.
Tobias has something desperately that he needs to announce. Let him announce
Check out
it.
the
He
YouTube
muted
channel
me.
every once
He
in a while.
muted me.
I know a lot of people listen to the podcast, but the YouTube version is kind of funny sometimes.
So the Pokeball. This is Destiny
yeah.
related. We must talk about it.
Yeah, you're gonna
Mhm.
capture Caitlin with it.
Yes, that's in the strike next week. It's relevant.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's display grade replica with finely detailed metal shell and a
grade.
deeply colored high gloss liqueur finish.
Liqueur.
Liqueur.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
Ah,
Beautifully brought to
liqueur.
life with touch and proximity sensing. Oh,
Proximity
Touch
sensing?
and proximity.
No wonder this thing's $100. It's got electronics.
Is
in
it like a car alarm? It says, please step away from the
Yeah.
Pokeball.
it says get in my Pokeball, I believe. That's what it
Get
says.
in my Pokeballs.
It says, "Get in, nerds."
There's free candy.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. There's also a Master Ball. So you can get the Pokeball, you can get the Master Ball. It's all officially licensed stuff. I don't know. It looks pretty
Wow.
cool.
Oh, did Tomo get the Master Ball?
No, just the Pokeball.
What the fuck, Tomo?
I know he should have got both.
Why does he need
Right?
completing a set? Disappointing.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean the one diecast LED RGB Pokeball is just gonna look lonely and like bored all by itself without the Master Ball sitting next to it.
How's he going
How
to
are you
become a
gonna-
real trainer?
Yeah,
How
yeah,
are you going to catch all those rare Pokemon?
Yeah.
right.
Seattle's got to have a lot of them.
Answer the real questions, Tomo.
I think
Oh,
we
I
should
think-
introduce our guest for this week, Tobias.
Yeah,
He's
Yeah.
been experiencing a lot of games recently.
Yeah.
that's right.
Cat and mouse.
Yeah, like Birds.
How did you
Birds,
start
the classic.
streaming, Tobias? Basically, I just showed my ass on Watson's stream.
Yeah, he's like, every now and then I'd show my butthole, and people were like, "Oh, That's kinda
Subscribe.
I'll follow that. That's a butthole I can subscribe to.
What is Tobias's KD on laser pointer?
it's got to be at least a 15.2." I think
Dude, he's pro. No wonder.
he's pro gamer.
Pro.
What's, it,
pro
what's his
Tobias.
ELA?
15.2 minus the population of the laser pointer community.
420. carry the
Yeah, at least 69. At least.
What is there news-wise to talk Destiny this week? We got the Grandmaster.
Nightfalls. Yeah, Grandmaster
GMs?
Nightfalls.
Grandmaster Nightfalls, which is currently the Swarm. So this is the first time that we've had the opportunity to get adept weapons in PvE. So that's very exciting. Briar's currently, for audio listeners, Briar's thinking, what is the Swarm?
Yeah, that's
He's carrying the two.
heavy machine gun.
Heavy machine gun,
Is it
yeah.
right?
The Swarm,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
It was a
It is the
Vanguard
heavy
weapon.
machine gun.
Yep.
And it's dropping a new mod that has both boss spec and major spec on it, I believe.
Hmm,
Oh,
An
interesting.
adept mod with both.
that's cool.
I think that's what it does. So that's exciting. And it's also Sepix. So it's the GM Sepix situation.
Grandmaster
this
That's a good
Sepix.
opener, right? You got
week.
the
Yeah.
the new strike, new in quotes, but new strike. Why not make it the first Grandmaster as well? I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seems like a lot of people are using Titans with Ursa Furiosa, which when they pop their shield thing, where you're walking around with a shield and people shoot through it,
Mm-hmm.
and it just makes a ton of orbs.
Oh,
So-
that's good.
If you have two Titans using that, you basically have it up all the time.
I like having orbs. I like having orb generating teammates. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
I feel like it's an underrated skill among fire team teammates. It's like a lot of people like run forward and try and finish the strike as fast as possible, or they can kill real fast. But having a guy who's good at making orbs, or a couple of guys that are like a whole team that's good at making orbs, just makes the strike more fun because you're constantly using abilities, you're using supers. Like it's just like it becomes like this big bombastic, like fun zone.
Mm-hmm.
It's an underrated skill,
Those
like
teammates care about the team well-being, the welfare of the team.
Which
Yeah.
you have to in
Yeah.
GMs, otherwise you die.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
So for GMs, you have to be 1325 to enter. So we got to get up to 1325, and also you cannot. There's no use in getting higher than 1325.
Right, they cap you.
Oh.
right.
Wait,
Yeah,
so you have to
so
be
that's the number you wanna-
1325 and they cap you, so like literally no difference.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm still disappointed that they went that direction because it just kind of
Yeah, me too.
it cuts any reason to go higher than 1325 for basically
It does.
all the other stuff in the game.
Yeah, because GMs is like the hardest thing that you can do PVE wise. So
Yeah.
there's nothing else PVE wise that you're gonna want to be leveling up for. So
Yeah. Yep.
yeah, but everyone seems to be having a good time with it. People have been really enjoying the new mod, which is called Adept Big Ones. Which is a good,
Adept
it's a
big
good
ones.
name. Adept
Yeah.
Big One.
Salad.
And eventually, if you're interested in the Conqueror title or gilding your Conqueror title, they will, of course, they'll go through all of the strikes, and then eventually they'll all be available, so you can just do them whenever.
Nice.
So you don't need to worry
Right.
about, I'm not 1325, and I'm going to miss this strike, so I'm not going to be able to do that. You don't need to worry about it.
Yeah.
which is always good.
That's cool.
That is kind of a perennial problem with Destiny, right? Is how to approach the leveling, the power up, like the RPG-ness of Destiny is kind of like they've kind of not nailed that, right? They're still searching for the answer there. And I wonder if they'll ever figure it out. I've never heard a great answer for it. Like we want you to level up every season, or at least when new content comes out, but the leveling up process has become stale to a lot of players. So what is the answer there? It's like getting rid of it isn't going to work. It's an RPG, right? You can't just get rid of it. But like creating a new system for it every time, like it would be interesting if they did that, but it's like that's a ton of work, right? Because you got to think of a new system for leveling up every time.
It's
and
also
you're going to hit on some bad ones occasionally.
Yeah. It's also fatiguing for a lot of the population that can't spend a huge amount of time leveling every time, but they want to play,
Yeah.
So if
you want to do a Grandmaster Nightfall right now,
1325.
Better have been leveling up, or else.
Yeah.
I don't know what the solution is either. It feels like it's one of those things where what we really want is the new experience of Destiny for leveling, but you can't have that every season. You can't have that every expansion either. And they've basically moved away from that because it's too difficult to rebuild from the ground up like that. Like essentially that'd be a Destiny 3 experience where you're leveling up brand new, fresh. And that's just not in the cards, right?
Yeah, leveling is a huge part of any RPG. It's kind of like the core of it, right? Of how do you make players excited about all the loot that drops? How do you make players excited to keep leveling? What kind of thing are you giving them to achieve that higher level? It's I can't even imagine, because every time I think about it, I'm like, I have some decent ideas, but in the whole grand scheme of it, like, how does it actually work? Does it feel good? Is it rewarding? I don't know. I have no idea. I do not feel jealous for the person that has to figure that out.
Yeah, it's a high risk problem to create a solution for, because if you're wrong, or if you land on a solution that the player base doesn't like, I mean, that is something that is a big deal to the player experience, right? It's like, it's not a small thing. Like, like rocket launchers aren't good this season, so we just won't use rocket launchers. Oh, the leveling system is fucking god awful, so we're just not going to play Destiny this season. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a tough one. It
is.
I wonder sometimes if I know we complained a lot during Destiny 1 about the length of time between big content drops. But I wonder if that was actually the solution, because the way it is now, you have these you have like 4 seasons a year, and you have to level up every time that season comes out. And I think that's where that grind gets old and it gets boring, is because you have to do it so frequently.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they were actually kind of if just limiting it to once a year was actually the right way to go. It's like when the big content drops come out once a year, then you do your leveling. But for the season stuff, maybe leveling shouldn't be a thing.
So they're moving it to what? Where you just have to do a pinnacle grind each season?
Yeah.
That's what they're moving to.
Yeah.
10
Which is
season.
definitely better for sure. But I think it also has to do with like the drip concept, or the drip feed method that the season is giving right now. And before, I used to think that the drip feed was better for the player base and the majority of the player base. And it still might be the case. I don't know. But the way I've been experiencing the game lately is I think I am officially fatigued from the the drip concept, or drip system of like just getting a little bit each week for the entire year.
I can't stand it.
In hindsight now, looking back to like both getting big drops and then waiting more time, and then now having like little drip feed type of stuff, there's been times where the drip feed has been amazing because you have some really cool content drops, but I feel like the majority of it has made me fatigued on Destiny, to where I'm like, I'd rather have those big drops, get really excited, do all that stuff, and then be able to comfortably take time off from it, or if I still am trying to grind for one particular drop, still do that, but be okay with like, taking a month or two.
Yeah. I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's a thing of if you play Destiny frequently, then maybe the drip feed is nice because it's every week you log in for those story beats and you're excited to find out what happens. But actually, with this season, if you miss a story beat in 1 week, you're behind. So
I feel lost.
so that's really hard because there's, you'll find people in the community are talking about there's this thing that happened. Oh my God, did you hear the new thing that's going on with Crow? And you're like, no, because I'm 2 weeks behind. So I wish there was a way with
or
the
God
drip
forbid,
feed.
like a month or two behind.
Yeah. So I wish there was a way with the drip because I like the drip feed, but I'm wondering if that's because I'm playing every day. So it's like, oh, new week. There's a little bit something new for me to play instead of this big drop, consume it, and then step away. But I do wish there was a way for them to do this while also allowing people to catch up on the story.
I think there is. I think they need some system that holds all the stuff in the drip feed so that when you do log in, it's there waiting for you. So like the stuff that happened, let's say the season comes out, it's week 1's got some stuff, obviously 2, 3, 4, and I don't log in until week 4. All the stuff from week 1, 2, and 3 are waiting there for me, and I play through that stuff, and then in a sequential order, and then I get to week 4. Right? It's like that way I don't miss out on anything because I didn't play for a few weeks, and I can save that stuff up to get like kind of a bigger content drop, so I get all the story, like kind of it works more like a DLC of old did, where you could play an 8-hour campaign if you want to, but you got to wait till the end of the season to do it.
People are saying that it does that now. I thought I heard, so I'm caught up, so I don't have personal experience with it, but I had heard people talking about, oh, it kind of sucks that people are behind on the story stuff though, and they're not being able to experience it. Because wasn't there a thing with people couldn't see the cutscene or something if they were behind a week or something like that? I vaguely remember, but I probably don't know what I'm talking about.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
This season, I've definitely taken a step back because like I found myself just fatigued over the drip feed style. Like it is interesting getting a little beat here and there for like story stuff, but it's not enough to pull me in to want to get like, like this is the only thing I want to think about when I'm gaming. Like when Destiny drops big expansions, it consumes you, and that's exciting. But the drip feed, the seasonal drip feed content over the past like 2 years now has grown fatiguing for me from my interest level. I'm like, it doesn't captivate me in the same way that the expansion.
It worked better with the Taken King when we had like a big content drop, then a drip feed.
Yeah.
But without that big content drop to get me excited, like I log in day 1 of a new season, I'm kind of like, all right, there's an hour, or let's say there's 4 hours worth of stuff to do, which I think is right on the money for a new season, right? When you first log in.
Yeah.
Does that seem about right?
Seems like,
and then you're like okay, and like the game kind of tells you, okay, go grind strikes, go grind Gambit, go grind Crucible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
people are saying you definitely catch up on the story stuff.
Maybe it was the presage stuff then, because I think there's maybe some presage stuff week to week that's kind of locked behind actually doing it every week.
Gotcha.
So it might have been that I confused it with. So thanks, chat.
One thing
you guys are the guest this week.
Chat's the guest. One thing I'm actually interested in seeing how it works out is saving some of these challenges for like a weekend spurt of just playing a bunch. Because like I've been taking time off from it so I can, get away from the fatigue of the drip feed type of feel, and then see a bunch of challenges and be like, oh, I'm gonna work on this challenge, that challenge, like feel like I have a buffet of challenges to work on and experience. I'm curious how that's gonna feel, because there's gonna be more and more challenges that open up towards the end of the season.
Yeah, but you gotta have enough time to do the challenges too.
I don't plan on doing them all though. That's the thing. Like
you don't? What?
I feel like I'd just be like, no, I'm sick of it again.
God. I can't believe this dude is on a Destiny podcast.
I I think it's good though, because like we used to have Pope Bear who played casually because he had a full-time job. Although casually, he was still pretty hardcore. But we
Casually
had
at like 100 hours a week.
we had a good
It's- yeah.
mixture. So it's actually I think it's kind of nice to have those opinions of people who have stepped back a little bit and they still engage in Destiny and they're still very aware of Destiny. They still enjoy playing Destiny, but having that opinion of, oh, I missed a couple weeks. What's it like to miss a couple weeks? What's it like to miss a month? I think
Yeah,
it's
that's
important
been
to
Briar
have
for like
all these
what,
things.
2 years?
I mean, the season started with what was the season with what's her name? Ada.
Black Armory.
Yeah, Black Armory. That was the first time I was like, this version of Destiny isn't the version of Destiny that I'm in love with. Right?
Mhm. Yeah.
And basically since season started, it's been like I've just not been a fan of the seasonal model. It's not been for me.
Yeah. It's weird.
I
It's
still
'cause-
log in at the beginning of every season though.
Yeah.
Beyond hope that like, okay, this is it. I'm gonna get like a nice 8-hour story and
Yeah. I feel you, man. But it's weird to have this perspective flip for me because I was definitely on the feeling that it would be better to have the drip feed than droughts. And the Taken King drought was very big. That was a pretty like
that was a
parched-
huge drought.
Yeah, that was a parched drought right there. That was tough. But I think something in between would actually would make me more interested in checking in more often.
The thing
Yeah.
about okay, so like if you look at the Taken King drought though, if you did still want to play Destiny, which obviously a lot of people left Destiny at that time because there wasn't new content. But if you did play Destiny, you were playing the stuff that you wanted to play, right?
Yeah.
If you're a Crucible player, you just sit there and play Crucible. If you're a Strike player, you'd sit there and play Strike. With the drip feed, is you're forced to play like the Gambit, Strike, Crucible kind of rotation because you're always kind of stuck in that grind of those three playlists. And I think that's what eventually kind of drove me nuts is like there was no point at which, okay, I finished the grind, now I can just do the shit I want to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I felt
I never-
like that before.
I never finish the grind anymore. I always have to be in the grinder.
Briar's in the grinder.
Briar is
Always in the
on grinder.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. Also, I think it has to do with the state of PvP as well. Like I can stand only 3 matches of the Crucible before I'm just like, I just don't want to play this right now. So, and
Yeah, see, I enjoy myself in the Crucible, but I don't get to play as much as I want to.
Yeah.
Because I always feel like I've got to be grinding Gambit or I've got to be grinding Strikes.
Yeah. Man, I wish that I would just want to hang out in the Crucible for 8 hours. I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
Right now.
For me, it's
You're too
different.
busy playing Xbox PUBG.
I'm too busy playing PUBG, man. Trying to get good.
For me, it's different every day. Yesterday, I had so much fun in the Crucible. The matches were like pretty evenly spread of doing really good and kind of just being able to go around and slaughter, and then having games that were really close, and then games that we got kind of slaughtered a little bit more. So it was yesterday was a really good day, and then you have days where you're like, oh my god, everyone is playing so slow. Everyone's running stasis. Everyone's playing this very specific way, and then it's not fun anymore. And it's a population issue. I really hope that, and I'd be interested in your opinion, Tefty, when next week with the stasis changes, how that makes Crucible feel for you.
Yeah. I'll have to jump in and like take a crack at it and see if I feel any different.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
like I said,
I'm
as it is
definitely
right
intrigued.
now, I'll play the first game. I'll be like, that's annoying. And then the second game, I'll be like, yeah, that's annoying too. And by the third game, I'm like, why am I playing this? I'm just pissed off. I don't want to feel that way playing the Crucible. In the past, I've really enjoyed the Crucible. So
Yeah, we'll see. It's different every day for me. It's so weird. I'm like, guys, this is great. We're having a good time. We're running around, using whatever weapons I want. There's like not much stasis being used, and then it's like, oh no, never mind.
So it has to do with how much stasis is being used. That's like the question.
If there's more stasis titans specifically, then I definitely have less fun.
So Bahamas.
Because there's just Bahamas need to go to the Bahamas.
Ooh, can I go to the Bahamas?
Absolutely, Briar. You can go there.
Thank you.
You will be sun-kissed, so you'll be delicious upon being roasted.
True, that Hawaiian beach taste.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Hawaiian beach taste.
Bahamas, not near Hawaii.
It's
No,
My
it's
grandfather
not.
once played a
tropical.
trick on me. I fell asleep on the sailboat, and he told me that I woke up in the Bahamas.
Is that where the Bahamas comes from? That might be it. A
No.
deep-seated. Nope. Okay, never mind. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, it's like Stasis Titans. They fly. They're flying around
Yeah.
the map,
Mhm.
and they'll like slide
Like
super
angels.
far. No,
Angelic
no,
missiles.
not like angels.
Mm.
No, they're because they're sliding really fast, and then they'll do the melee and go flying over there
That's
really
called the
fast,
blessing.
and then
They come over and they
their
bless people.
super last forever, literally forever.
They're throwing holy water on people. It just happens to be really cold. That's all.
Yeah,
It's terrible.
that's right.
So we'll see what
Space.
that's like when they're nerfed into oblivion.
No one hears you freeze in space.
I'm curious as well how you're going to feel about the changes post stasis adjustments. If
And Chaos Reach,
Yeah.
post Chaos Reach nerf. We'll see how that goes.
I'm also like waiting for them to put the DDoS protection on consoles as well. Like I want
Yeah.
that because I actually
I
would like to
definitely
jump
want
on.
that.
Yeah, I'd like to jump on on the Xbox and PS5 and just experience it. But I don't want to get DDoSed. At least I don't want that. I don't like the thought that my IP address could be out there because of that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
That's-
it's a pain in the ass to call up the internet company and be like,
Oh,
"Can you
big
change
time.
my IP address, please?"
Yeah, and that conversation's weird. They're like, "You want to change it? Why?" Well, I
Because-
stream on Twitch and people want to DDoS me.
Yeah, and that's the best thing they can do with your IP address. So ideally, you don't want anyone having your IP address.
Yeah.
You can have my IP address. Watson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Send you some packets every now and
It's
then
like a social security card.
for your birthday. Send some packets.
We're in an interesting time with that too, because there's like the cheating stuff that's happening in Trials and keeps getting Trials canceled. There's just the general cheating that's happening on
PC.
in the Crucible on PC, and then there's the DDoS stuff that's happening
Yeah.
Yeah,
on the consoles. So it's like, man,
It's-
I'd
your
like
poison.
to.
It's a perfect
Yeah.
storm of just not wanting to really play the Crucible. Hey,
That's really, I'll be honest with you, that is what brought me to Destiny to begin with, was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I can find one of these thousands of guns, bring them into the Crucible and shoot my friends. Like, this is it. This is the end game,
mhm.
you know?
Yep.
And now that that's kind of off limits for me somewhat, it's
Yeah.
like, I don't really log into Crucible anymore because, even if I don't run into cheaters, once you know there's cheaters in there, you think everybody who shoots you is a cheater.
The
right?
integrity of the game plummets in your mind because you've experienced like maybe just a couple times, but those couple times are enough to make you go, wait a minute, maybe how many times did this happen and I just didn't realize, like you start questioning things.
Yeah, that's why people are like, I'm not saying the guy's cheating, but just like keep an eye on him. I don't know. It's a little hit 2 really good shots in a row. Could be really good, but I don't know. Sure.
Yeah.
So it's it does suck to constantly just be like, is that person cheating? Don't know. So when you're in trials, a lot of the time when people are suspicious that there's a cheater on the other team, that's when you put on swords to 3-peek against the cheaters to see what they're doing. And then if they're not cheating, that then slows down the game because you think they're cheating. So now you're 3-peeking to stop the cheating, and it's real unfortunate.
Yeah. By the way,
I don't see a lot of cheaters in regular Crucible. Very, 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 very rare. But as soon
I
as you go
see
to
'em.
like
everybody
comp
who's
and
ever
trials-
killed me is a cheater. I'm actually really
person
good.
headshot me from a distance, from a normal distance with a sniper rifle.
that person
Cheating.
was hard
right?
scoping the
He
whole
shot me.
time and hit my head.
He shot me 3 times in the face before I shot him.
Everybody's cheating in
Absolutely
this
not.
game.
What a cheater.
Last week, I said you want to take bets on when Trials will be canceled. Complete joke, obviously. And then
Yep.
sure enough,
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
like, well, looks like we got to disable this yet again.
It was about
Until
24
Saturday,
hours.
right?
Yeah, about
Yeah,
24 hours.
It was
And then,
about 24
then it
hours.
hit. And I was like, man, this is like a weekly activity.
It was unfortunate because like
Destiny's newest weekly.
Yeah, when is it gonna get
Waiting for Trials to get canceled?
when are they gonna cancel Trials? Let's get a little bingo card going.
You see, Fallout with his community. We're doing bets on when Trials will come back.
Oh, smart. Smart.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, he didn't think it was going to come back this week, so he has to gift 50 subs. So
y'all should follow Fallout on Twitter too, because he'll tweet out some pretty useful stuff. Like when the arms dealer in the tower is giving out useful perks. Like I logged into Destiny just based off Fallout's recommendation this week, just to get a perk from the what's his name? God damn it.
Banshee.
Gunsmith.
Thank you. Gunsmith.
Banshee 44.
Yeah. Banshee. What?
It's 44. Banshee 44, isn't it?
It is unfortunate because last week Trials felt better than it has felt in a long time. That was so the loot, every single loot, 3, 5, 7, and flawless was something new, whether it was new armor or a new weapon. The hand cannon was at 5 wins. So even people who maybe don't play were like, well, we could try and see if we could get there. So it felt massively different to other weeks. So I hope that tomorrow when it comes back, it's either the same loot as last week or it's better. And better would be hand cannon at 3 wins and then something else new at 5 and 7.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what we need. I honestly, because it's been canceled so much, I would love to see something like double Trials drops. I don't see a problem, and you get 3 wins, and it's the hand cannon, and you get 2 hand cannons. Hey,
they should do a makeup, like a make good for all the cancellations.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'd like that a lot.
Tefty, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
What would it take for you to log into Trials on a Friday afternoon? Like, what do you think they could do?
I think.
When's the last time you logged into Trials?
The second week it was out. That was the last time because I saw first week was fun of when it came out. When it came back.
Fun. Yeah.
Yeah. So
when was that?
I don't know. It's been a while, but like
it was Burnout and it was great.
Yeah, it was. The first one was awesome because there was so many people in the playlist that you could actually get games.
What season was that?
It was fun. I feel like it was close to a year ago, wasn't it?
Okay.
Yeah. It was damn near close to being a year ago.
Yeah. I feel like it was about a year ago. They brought it back, and it was also they had put on the workbench for like a year and a half, right? Or a year.
It had been a long time.
It had been a long time since it had not been out. It was exciting that it was going to be like, oh, Trials of Osiris is officially back. First weekend, it was fun to play because the population was healthy, and then everybody realized that the rewards weren't really going to be worth it if you were just like hanging out in the playlist and not going flawless.
Yeah.
And that made the second weekend plummet. Played the second weekend and I realized this is not fun unless you're like actually trying to win a tournament. And I'm not into that. I'm not trying to like become some like, 0.001% or something like that. Like I want to just casually play it and have fun. Yeah, I haven't touched it since because like I see the people's complaints about it, and like if I get into a card pretty far and then it gets ruined because of cheaters, that's gonna put me in a bad mood. And if I don't want to be in a bad mood, I should avoid things that put me in bad moods, right?
So for you to go back to Trials, would it be?
They need a healthy population, and a healthy population means that the award system needs to not suck. Yeah. They need to give people a reason to hang out in there regardless of their skill level. You know?
Yeah.
Like it's okay for it to be an elite thing of going flawless. Like not everyone has to go flawless, totally. Like I'm not saying that. But they definitely need to make the population healthy enough to where you can go in, you can try a little. Like of course you want to try some of the games, but like you don't have to feel like you're competing in a tournament every single game and then like potentially going up against cheaters. And if you play on console, there's DDOSers, there's just those things need to get fixed. You need to not worry about the health of whether or not you're going against a cheater, and you need to not worry about getting DDoSed on console. And the rewards need to be good enough for most people to be like, yeah, it's worth going in for at least a few games because you're at least going to get rewarded something that's worth it to go in there for. Yeah.
Yeah, I think some of the things that I've heard, and this is definitely a shift in the mentality from D1, right? Because D1 Trials was pretty populated almost the whole time. There was definitely lulls, but generally it was decently populated. So people were like, no, you need to like get good and win to get the stuff. But even the most elitist of gamers are like, well, you know what? Population for trials is the most important thing. And if we want a good population, we need to change the way things work. And I think one of my favorite ones is allow people to just work towards 7 wins.
Mm-hmm.
If you get 7 wins and you've lost, you don't go flawless, of course. Like you can keep the adept loot and the glow and the sparrow and all that stuff for flawless and the mods. But allowing people to just stay, picking away at their card to get to 7, I think would be really nice. So you don't lose a game and you're like, oh, well, gotta restart again. And I've already got the 3-win reward. So I'm not going to get anything for God knows how long.
Yep.
So that would be very nice. Getting tokens, if we're keeping the token system, which I wish we wouldn't, but if we're keeping it, having tokens on losses as well and more on wins. So you're getting something.
Yeah.
Post-match rewards.
Just get rid of the tokens. Do post-match rewards. If you win, you get a little bit more. If you lose, you still get something. That way, you're not feeling like.
I would say that about Destiny, like as a whole. Get rid of tokens. Just do rewards after the match.
It is funny how much like the reward screen was screenshot in Destiny 1, and how exciting it was. Being like, look what dropped, look what dropped, look what dropped, and that's basically gone in D2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To me, you're describing a lot of what was in Destiny 1. Trials in Destiny 1.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Yeah.
I always try to frame it with the idea that Trials in D1 was a new experience, and there wasn't much in the market that offered this thing. And then
nothing close to it.
And then PUBG and Fortnite and all that happened, and then the evolution of those, Apex Legends and all that. And a lot of that PvP popularity excitement has moved on to other games like Warzone and Apex Legends and Fortnite and all that. So I know a good portion of that hype has actually splintered off into other types of games that people are more interested in now. But the desire to play Trials is heavily affected by how well an average person can just go in and have some fun playing some games.
Yeah,
theoretically,
100%.
It should be really difficult, but not impossible for an average player. Like let's say a 1 KD player, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it should be difficult, but not impossible for a 1 KD player to get to the lighthouse.
Yeah,
right now,
I completely agree. Those players need to be like, we need to be communicating and we might need to be like doing the best that we can. But if I stick in this playlist, I'm going to be getting rewarded while I'm in here. And if I stay here long enough, I can get lucky and I can go flawless, or I can get lucky and get those 7 wins and get the loot that I want. But
or
right
like
now,
my mercy boon helps me at just the right time.
Yeah, like right now it's bad. It's bad, man. It's
so
real
weird.
bad.
It's so weird how they took out a mercy. Like, that in one of those games, there's a high chance you're going to go up against someone who's lagging, or like your connection to them just sucks. And so all your shots are lagging to that one person. And that can definitely, like, again, this is part of the mood thing. Like, is this going to put me in a bad mood? If I'm going to get to game 7 and the other team is lagging, like they're just like, I shoot them and they're eating bullets. It's just annoying. Like, there should be a mercy for things like that. Anyway,
the mood was Trials, right? It was like the highs and the lows of Trials were what made it what it was. Like, coming off of Call of Duty and entering Destiny, like I loved playing PvP, but Trials was a brand new experience where all of a sudden it felt like every weekend I entered a tournament. Like I saw on Twitch, where like you'd see these big tournaments where you'd see Envy versus the Green Wall, right? It's like that's what it felt like. It's like me and my friends are now going to enter this tournament, and the stakes are getting this awesome gun from the lighthouse.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they nailed it right at the get-go, and every time they've tweaked it, they've made it worse. Right from at first it was matchmaking is connection based. They changed that, it got worse, and then it just evolved along a series of Trials. Just got worse and worse and worse. I mean, I'd say current Trials is better than Trials of the 9 was. but it's also tainted by all the cheating that's happening in trials
Again,
right now.
the health of the population, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing. And ultimately Bungie needs to make decisions that gets more people wanting to play the playlist.
Mhm.
And whatever that is, I mean, it's going to be the rewards in Trials are really nice. Like the guns look great. They are great. The armor looks really cool. So I think they have good rewards in there. You just need to make it rewarding for people to play it instead of being very stingy with giving you stuff. Very, very, very stingy.
Yeah.
And I think it's still a symptom of, when D2 first came out, to be honest, and people were like, Trials is, Trials of the 9, you go flawless one time and you basically have everything and then you don't need to play anymore. So they went this other route and it's not really worked out very well.
And you get it for all your clan mates.
Yeah, you got it from the clan mates. Yeah.
So they never even have to play.
What a disaster that was. Oh my god.
It's a hard balance. I mean, you've got to make it rewarding enough that people want to join, but also it's not a new game mode anymore, so it's never going to be as exciting as it was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I think, Brian, you kind of nailed it, where in D1, Trials was a way for kind of your average player or your slightly above average player to go and experience what it's like to be in a tournament, like have that exciting tournament feel. And people were able to do that. You could go into Trials, and if you lost, you lost, but hey, you got that new armor set. That's really cool.
You walked away with something.
Yeah, you walked away with something. It was a way. It wasn't just for the best players ever to feel like they're in a tournament, because a lot of them play in tournaments as it is anyway. It was a way for kind of your average gamer to experience what being in a tournament is like, and we've kind of lost that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or they sharpened it, and it cuts too deep now to where a lot of the people would rather not, like myself.
Yeah.
I would just rather not.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I gotta run to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Briar's taking a pee break.
That was like deep in thought. I thought, Brian, what is Brian gonna say? Is he gonna come out with the most game-changing plan?
I really gotta piss right now.
I was just about to say, so the TWAB. Let's get into TWAB. Brian has to read the TWAB. That's Briar's job. Briar is the TWAB reader. What makes him tender?
Yeah. Tenderizes Briar with the TWAB reading. It's really interesting, like how much they've. I think it's weird that they took it offline for like a year and a half or whatever to retool it.
Mm-hmm.
And it came back just, in a 50-50 state. It's like it was destined to be doomed.
Yeah. It was so sad because the first week, I will remember it for probably the rest of my life. And everyone was like, oh my God, this feels like D1 Trials. This is amazing.
I remember that. I was excited. I was like, this is awesome. It feels like Trials is back, man.
Yeah, yep. And then players realized that they can't get much out of it. And they were like, well, I'm just not going to play. And then the population gets smaller. You're more likely to run into cheaters because there's a smaller population. And then you're like, there's a bunch of cheaters, so I don't want to play because there's a bunch of cheaters. And it's just a snowball effect of people gradually leaving the playlist. And then you're left with something that is a shell.
I mean, what does it say about the population, or what does it say about the playlist when, like, what was it, 1/3? I think a third of the PC player population went flawless without shooting or getting a single kill.
People would rather go through, like I've read about how to do the hockey win trading thing, and I'm like, that's a lot of work. If you would prefer to do that than to just load up with buds and play the game mode.
That tells you something, though, right? Like they're willing to go through those levels of like annoyance with the hockey method to get a win or to get a flawless run without having to like shoot a single bullet. That's crazy. Right?
It is crazy. It's so sad because it did feel really good when it came back. And then it's like Pete said in chat, week 2 was the shotgun. So people were just doing token farming for the shotgun. So you had like the sweatiest of gamers just in those first games. So if you were an average player, you couldn't even get to 3. It was impossible for you. And then that kind of killed the playlist. And I think that, I don't know if it was the week after that was Widow's Court, but that's when cheating was like very noticeable because, it's a long range map. Snipers are the thing. You can pick people off and you get the win. And then it just kept going down and downhill from there.
Crazy. So crazy to think about that. Like people trading Like the hake method just blows my mind, and it becoming so popular.
It's pretty amazing. It's pretty funny, actually.
Yeah. Briar.
My birthday was on Monday,
Mhm.
and my kids bought me one of those Soda Streams. Have you seen these things?
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
So it's like you got like a
That's
got a
why you
bottle.
gotta pee
I'm
all the
showing
time
bottle
now?
Actually, right here. That's why I gotta pee all the time right now because I'm constantly making seltzer water in the Soda Stream.
It's
Delicious.
It is delicious. It's really
Yeah.
fun.
There's a twab, right? Should we get to it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Fire,
shit.
hit us with the twab.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I think we
Yep.
do want to read the first part of it. I know
Okay.
sometimes we skip the first part, but I think it's probably important to read the first part.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. They say we want. This is a quote from Punji. We want to start this twab off by speaking about the tragic events from earlier this week. The violence against the Asian American community in Atlanta wasn't an isolated event. Hate crimes against Asian Americans have recently surged across major cities in the U.S. over the last year. Everyone at Bungie stands with the Asian community during this difficult time, and our hearts go out to the victims of this senseless act and their families. One of our goals is to continue to build communities around our games where everyone feels safe to be who they are and free to build friendships without the fear of hate or discrimination. Please join us in making a donation to aid efforts that provide support and advocacy to those in need. To donate support and learn more on how you can help, visit I'mReadyMovement.org.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I'm it's something that's been happening for a long time, and people in the Asian community have been saying, like, I've been getting a lot more looks, and I started seeing these things on my timeline from my friends and from people that I kind of vaguely knew, and there's like, I'm getting more looks than normal, and then it started escalating to now people are saying stuff to me, and now people are saying things like go back to China, when of course they're mostly not from China,
American
and
born.
yeah, all this stuff just kept escalating and escalating and escalating, and with what happened in Atlanta was a show of what happens when you allow even those small things of hate and racism and bigotry to pass, right? Like saying things like Kung Flu and the China virus. Starts with something like that. You look at it, you're like, maybe that's not a big deal when people are hearing it, but those things you have to stomp down right away.
Yeah.
Because if you allow them to fester and you're in your little echo chamber and it's people just going, oh yeah, it's China's fault, and then oh, it's Asian people's fault, and it just keeps going up and up and up and up until you get people losing their lives.
Plants seeds of hate.
It does. It plants seeds of hate.
You need to stop those at the root and just like don't allow that crap, you know? It's
Yeah,
great.
that's why I always say, if you hear even something that's like you're a little like, that's I don't know if you should say that. Bring up your friends when they say stuff like that. Bring up anyone around you that you hear that in your communities, because leaving it to fester cause people to lose lives.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. If you hear something that you don't agree with or you think is, even if it's like kind of mildly, like it's just on the borderline, if it's just like it's under the radar, but you kind of like, it still kind of prickles at you, just say something. And you don't have to be a dick about it. You can just say something. Hey, man, don't say that stuff around me. I don't like that. And you know what? Saying it nicely it's a better way to say it than get angry about it, right? Because you're staying friends with the person, right? You're not breaking a friendship over this stuff. And that person might have not like known what they were saying, right? And like that's, I think, the avenue to change it. I think we got a real problem with like division right now and like hate. It's not just hate like in the way we're talking about right now, but there's hate across like party lines and across family lines. Is like, if you really break it down, we agree on way more stuff than we disagree on. It's just that, this culture, the media has kind of like, it feeds on our hate of things. You get more clicks for hate than you do on love, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's real important right now to try and address these things and be upfront about them, but do it in a friendly way and try not to break friendships. Try and help your friends out, help them learn, and learn too, because Lord knows I've learned a lot over the last few years. A lot of this stuff I used to say when I was a kid is just not acceptable. Let's be honest. It was, and then now it's not. And we have to learn as a society. We have to get better as a society.
You got to embrace growth. I think a big problem is a lot of people are not willing to ask questions, I guess, or question where things are coming from. And I feel like that's a core thing that's been lost in a lot. I don't know where it comes from specifically, but like the ability to just stop and say, why would you think this way? Or why would the situation be presented? And those things lead to very, very obvious answers. It's like, oh, well, you can, things are a Google search away. A lot of answers are a Google search away, but people want to just blindly follow stuff or like go along. Like you said, the little seeds of hate that get planted, then it becomes like a regular rhetoric. And then it's like, what's the next step from there? It's like, people need to ask more questions. They need to stop and think and ask more questions in general as to why would you go down that thought process,
Yeah, there's a lot of like helping people to not go down that rabbit hole, right? Like we've seen very evidently that it's very easy on the internet to go into an echo chamber and be stuck around the same stuff and you never see outside of it, because that's how algorithms work, that's how recommendations work. The internet recommends you stuff that you are already looking at. So progressively you just keep getting further and further down the rabbit hole and further away from people that are just like maybe could tell you that, hey, the thing that you're saying is that's not okay to say that. So you're stuck in this echo chamber, and maybe you start hearing some words that you're like, I don't know, it's not too bad. And so you start using it, and then it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. So that's why anyone who has spent time like talking to family members that have gone down that road and helped them to not go fully down it, to have just be filled with hate, I appreciate them so much. It's not an easy thing to do, to talk about this stuff with people, but it is very, very, very necessary.
Yeah. My heart goes out to everyone affected by it. It's crazy,
Yeah, seriously, it's awful.
Yeah. So I if you guys can, you don't have to donate to the place that Bungie posted in the 12, but there are other places that you can donate to that help communities.
Yeah.
Be welcoming and be positive in your communities.
Yeah.
Because it can all start with just you. You don't need to go and make like a massive change on your own. I know that it feels very intimidating to try and do that. But start with your own communities when people start using language that is not nice. It can make a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Approaching people with love out of this stuff too. It's like, hey man, like let's not berate you because you used the word that I don't agree with. Let's like try and use this as a teachable moment and come at you with love. I think works a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then also there's people who have gone down the rabbit hole a little bit, but it just took one person who was open and willing to talk to them about it and inviting for them to go, oh, I don't have to stay in this community. There are other places I can go to. So the more that you make someone feel like they don't have a positive place that they can go, the more likely they are to stay in those negative communities. Because ultimately, a lot of where these kids end up going who are going through whatever they might be going through, looking for acceptance, they end up getting acceptance from very bad places. And if you can be on the other side of like, hey, we can hang out, we can talk, we can discuss this kind of stuff, you might be the person that could really help someone not go down that.
That was a real concerning. I hate to like make this political, but this was a real concerning thing that happened after the most recent election, where people were saying, if you voted for Trump, I don't want anything to do with you. I don't want, like, there is no forgiveness for you. Like, wait a minute. Like, come on. Like we can still be a family. We can still be a community. Like, there is.
You got to be able.
There are ways to fix this division.
You got to be able to heal and grow.
There is forgiveness. There is just saying like, no, you're a racist asshole means that there's never going to be a fix for this. There's always you're making sure that there's always going to be a division there.
Yeah, I understand why people feel that way, because it's like, how can you support, racism and sexism and homophobia? How can you support that? But if they don't have a place where they think they can go to be reformed or accepted back into a community that they maybe were in before, then they're going to stick with that community that is full of hate and racism and homophobia and transphobia, and they're going to stay there because they feel like, well, I can't go back now. Look at all the things that I've said. Look at all the things that I've been a part of. There's no one would ever accept me again over there. And that's ultimately not going to help any of us.
That's the worst thing about the internet, is that like everything you say lasts forever. So you can never change your mind anymore, right? It's like you can't just like, I thought about it a little bit and I changed my mind. Well, no,
yeah.
There's all sorts of stuff you said that says the exact opposite. Yeah, but I changed my mind. No, it says right here on Twitter. Yeah, but I didn't have all the information. No, you're an asshole and you're forever banned.
It's hard conversations to have, man. But seriously, they can save lives. They really can.
Mm-hmm.
They can. So it's worth it if you can have those conversations with people around you who are going into more hateful communities.
Iron Banner's coming back.
Iron Banner.
Iron Banner.
A place of happiness. Go to Iron Banner.
That's right. Speaking of hate.
Salt and division.
That's right.
Iron Banner's back.
10 a.m. on March 23rd through 10 a.m. on March 30th. Get in there, capture some zones, get some loot.
Get some loot.
What else you got to do? There's COVID. Go play some Iron Banner.
Iron Banner. You're going to love it. Imagine all the times you'll get frozen. It's so good.
The Iron Banner is coming after the stasis patch. So go in Iron Banner, check it out, see what you think about it.
Yeah. That's perfect because there'll be a bunch of people playing Iron Banner plus the stasis patch. So it'll be good kind of test out.
Yeah.
Where are you guys playing most of your Destiny now? Are you doing it on PC or are you doing it on console?
Lately I've been doing console.
Would you say what? Sorry, I didn't
PC.
hear. PC?
I just don't want to use a VPN. I just can't be bothered.
Oh yeah, I'm not playing Crucible on console.
Well, even in PvE, if or Gambit, someone can see your name.
True.
Be like, oh, I don't like you.
Yeah.
And take you down.
You threatened to eat Briar.
That could be it. There's some mega Briar stands out there who take it all very seriously, and they're like, how dare you?
You son of a bitch. Leave Briar alone.
I would love for someone in the community to make the video that leave Brittany alone. But it's leave Briar alone. I would pay for that. I would pay money.
Is there anything else at the top? I don't see anything that's popping out at me.
So of course there was the GM stuff where it's like, hey, GMs are here. There was some stuff about Eyes of Tomorrow. You're gonna get a giggle out of this. So first of all, they're doing there was something that happened with Eyes of Tomorrow's damage. So we're going to talk about the damage first, and then we'll talk about the other stuff. So they found that it was doing reduced damage to mini bosses. So these are things like the bosses in Lost Sectors. They're not like raid bosses. It was doing the same damage to raid bosses. They tested it a bunch and found that it was specifically against mini bosses. So they are fixing that on March 23rd. So you can go and destroy things with Eyes of Tomorrow like you used to.
Nice.
Now, the funny part is the drop rate change. Okay, I'm just going to read all of this because we need to hear it all in its entirety. It's long, but it's worth it.
Let's hear it.
It's worth
Let's hear it.
We've also seen a lot of feedback that Eyes of Tomorrow is not dropping for many players despite numerous clears on multiple characters. We've been digging into this and discovered that bad luck protection was mistakenly being applied on a per character basis instead of across the entire account.
Oh my god.
Ouch.
So Basically, TLDR, they're fixing it. But if they said, do you like getting into the weeds of making video games? This is when I find things hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
So the original design intent of bad luck protection for Eyes of Tomorrow was to increase your chances of obtaining it with each weekly clear on your account, eventually reaching a 100% guaranteed drop if RNG had been particularly unkind to you. The goal was to reward folks for raiding consistently week over week, rather than bringing dozens of runs into a single week. Another goal was to ensure single character players were not at a huge disadvantage, as we didn't want the benefits of bad luck protection to require rating across 3 characters. With those goals in mind, we set it up so that each character has a weekly chance at the exotic, but the bad luck protection count only accumulates once per week across the entire account. This meant that players rating on 3 characters have 3 times as many chances at the exotic, but that the increase in drop chance only increases once each week and applies equally to everyone who runs the raid, regardless of if you're running 1 character or 3. However, we mistakenly applied this protection to a system that only stores data on a per character basis. That resulted in each character having individual protection counts. That would be fine, but only the first character you ran the raid on each week would add to their protection count.
Son of a bitch.
Oh my god.
Left unfixed, this would have made it take up to 3 times as long to see the benefits of bad luck protection for people raiding across different characters each week. So in the patch, they're going to fix it and it's going to work. And I can just imagine the conversation where it's like, so we're hearing reports that, people have done like 56 raids and they've
I
not
did the
seen
math,
it.
though. It seems like it should work.
Did you definitely apply the bad luck protection? He's like, I definitely did. I'll go
to
check.
Carry the one.
Oh, God.
No, actually, what would happen is like, oh, yeah, no, it's on there. I can see. And then it'd be like, wait a minute. It's per character. Oh, God.
Yep. These kind of things. It's like the thing. What was it where it was like, it's counting for SMGs, but only if you get rocket launcher kills, but only if you do grenade. These kind of things I look at and I'm like, that's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
glad I'm not a coder when I read about stuff like this, because like on the surface it took 2 or 3 paragraphs to explain this, but like if you look at the code, I bet it looks like, to a layman like us, it probably looks like 18 pages of gibberish that you've got to be able to read and decipher and be like, oh, there it is.
Yep. So a lot besides that, it's a bunch of bug fixes. Trials, they've made it so the issue with Trials is people were like, oh, just disable rejoining. But the issue they were having is if they just disabled rejoining fire teams, if you disconnected or crashed or whatever, it would disable it for the entire game, which is maybe not great.
Wow. But
they've made a way to disable fire team rejoining just in Trials. So you might still get error coded and it might ruin your run, but this is how they're fixing it to bring Trials back as fast as possible. That's about it for the TWAB. Besides that, next week we're getting the new strike.
Yeah.
With the
Before we move
story. Yes.
Would you guys prefer losing a run because you got an error code and knowing that like rejoining is, it's turned off?
Yeah.
Or would you prefer that people who are cheating can get Trials loot for free?
For me, I could care less if they're using the hot game method. Like, if you want to take the time to do that, go right ahead. Sounds boring.
Yeah, I don't. It's like it's the integrity of the playlist, right? It's like keeping the integrity of the loot in the playlist. I guess I could see it being a problem if more people are learning about this, of course, and then the only people playing Trials are recovs and people doing win trading. Then I could see where that becomes a problem, right? Because now you have a population that is the worst it's ever been.
But it still comes down
Seems
to the question.
Seems to me the fix,
it
though,
still comes
is
down to the
hurting
question.
the players that want to play.
Yeah, it comes down to the question is, why are people still choosing those?
I mean, yeah.
Why would someone rather pay a recov or do win trading as opposed to play the playlist themselves? That's the real question, right? They got to solve that one.
I hope that they're working on it. I always say, because they invited a bunch of people who played the ass out of Trials in D1.
I didn't get invited.
You didn't, Brian? You were a
No.
carry, right? You were doing
Oh,
recos.
massive.
Recoving all day.
Wicked.
That's how he saved all the money
recos I
for
did?
them
Ooh.
fight sticks.
So we paid for the fight stick.
You think that Briar's a trust fund baby? No. It's all that D1 recov money. But when they invited people to come out, they invited them to test the game mode, right? Does this game mode feel good in D2 with the classes we have and the weapons we have? How are you feeling? And I remember the first question I asked when I talked to people who went there, I was like, did they show you the reward system? Did they show you the loot? Because a lot of what makes Trials fun and enticing is the loot. And they were like, no, we just played the game mode. So I think it was a mistake to bring people in for a Trials of Osiris community summit thing and not show people the entire system, the tokens, the rewards, the mercy things, all of that. It was a mistake that they didn't show all of it. So I hope that actually I can't invite people to the studio right now, but I would love it if they maybe talk to people that play a bunch of Trials or did play a bunch of Trials about what they're planning on doing and seeing what
all
people
those
say.
win traders.
Bring in the win traders. Say, what will make you stop win trading?
Yeah. So I see you're swapping wins. What would make you stop?
I wonder if the luster of Trials is so tarnished at this point that there's no bringing it back. It's just
possible.
Yeah, I wonder about
the
that
names.
Too.
Just got so much baggage.
Because D2 Year 1 Trials really tarnished the name. People were excited about that, and then discovered what it felt like, and also the rewards were like cosmetic, for going flawless, and it was like, yeah, don't know. That was tarnished number 1. Then it was taken offline for so long, and then brought back. First week was good, but there was the seed or the cracks of like, and then it just became a huge problem.
Yep.
Twitter questions?
Let's do it.
No. Yes, Brian. Yes. I would love to do Twitter questions. I just want to make you nervous. Every time you're going to say Twitter questions, I want you to go.
I'm just going to sit here silently until you ask me to do it then. You guys want to talk some more about Trials?
You want to argue about it?
Let's talk about the Alien franchise.
What if I don't care enough to argue? Umami Ramen. I see you, Celix. You changed your name, but I still see you. Time for AR McD appreciation. Ash appreciation.
Yes.
I know I'm late a week, but the Mercules 904 artwork was amazing. I love and look forward to seeing it whenever DCP Live has guests come up to the show, and will continue to.
Yes. Ash is amazing. We were actually talking about Ash on Monday, where we were like, yeah, because we were saying that with artists, there's a lot of very, very talented artists across lots of different styles. But what makes Ash really special is she's incredibly talented, but she also just gets people. Like when she's going to draw you for a guest art, for example, she'll watch your stream. She'll read through your Twitter. She'll try and get a really good grasp on your personality. So when she draws something for you, it hits different. I had to say it. It hits different because you're like,
this personality. She's able to draw somebody's personality.
Yeah.
Yep. And that is a really unique
and rare
talent.
Steffi always looks like such a narc whenever she draws me.
She doesn't draw me like a narc. What are you talking about? She does make you delicious, though, Briar.
Fuck.
Now I need Ash. I need to talk to Ash. I need a narc Tefty drawing and a delicious Briar drawing.
No, we don't need that.
I need both. Yeah, we need both.
He also adds, and this is a plug for the other show. Also, Briar, when's the Super Mario RPG stream showing up? We are playing Super Mario RPG for Retro Slot. So this coming Tuesday, we'll be talking about Super Mario RPG and hopefully playing through the entire game. Hopefully. It's only like a 20-hour RPG, I've been told, but I'm running out of time. And I ordered it off of eBay.
You're still waiting for it?
Yeah, it hasn't shown up yet.
That's cutting close on time.
Yeah, cutting
real
close.
I'm getting worried that I might have gotten scammed.
You know, Briar, you should have called your show The Gramers.
God damn it, Watts.
It's a new thing that we started doing in my channel because I have grandma gloves. Tomo calls these my grandma gloves. So specifically a grandma gardening glove.
They look like fighter gloves.
I know. I was like, I look like I'm a Street Fighter. It's
Yeah.
cool. What are you
Like,
talking about?
My hands stay warm, but I can still pick my nose. I've got everything going on.
Covered all your bases.
So I started saying, you know, this is the Grandma Gaming org, and I was like, oh, we need to call ourselves something, and I was like, Gramers, because we're
Gramers.
Gamers, gray, Gramers. Yep.
I'm not going gray.
Yeah, we can still be a grandma without going gray. Are you a grandma? You're definitely a grandma.
I definitely rep grandma. VHRP says, why do you hate warlocks so much? I don't know what you're talking about, VHRP.
I love warlocks.
What are you talking about? Briar was a warlock main.
Uh-huh.
Tefty
I was
currently
day one
actively
warlock.
is a warlock.
in the
main.
beta.
Everyone in
In the
chat
alpha.
says that I'm a warlock main. So
Yeah,
Chat says it,
I
it must
honestly
be
have
true.
no idea what you're talking about. I think you're imagining things. Maybe
Yeah.
you're projecting. Maybe you hate warlocks.
Yeah, why
Yeah.
do you get back
What-
to us next
Yeah.
week? Why do you hate warlock?
yeah, what's up
Yeah,
with the
follow
warlock
up,
hate?
VHRP. Yeah,
What do they do to you?
this channel is
In-
about love, my friend.
Yes, nothing but love.
Crit Buff says, should Trials be postponed until its entire award structure could be reworked to be more welcoming to the casual player base?
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't even know if it needs to be postponed. Like, just have it there for people that want to go get the loot and freaking work on it. And then you're gonna have to make sure that the announcement when it is reworked though is massive.
Yeah, I actually don't agree with what they're doing by taking it down all the time because of these hockey cheaters. I think this is actually you're hurting the players who do want to play Trials. When I go on Twitter and I see Fallout and Cammy and everybody be like, well, fuck, Trials is down again, so my weekend is shot. God damn it. Well, it's like they weren't cheating, so why are you taking it down? Like, who cares about these cheaters who are getting the loot? Let me tell you, the integrity of the loot is not so high that you should be ruining the experience of the game for the players who do want to play it. It's a bad look to be taking this thing down all the time. Just let the players play and like work on the fixes behind the scene. I don't understand why you're always taking it down.
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense
There's
to me.
two ways to look at it. Like, if you do take it down, then like Watts is saying, you have to hit it out of the park so hard. Otherwise, it really is just like that's the last one, you know? But on the flip side, it's like, why not just let people play the way it is right now until they do fix it?
Especially last week. Like, last week was popping. People, and it was only up for 24 hours. So people who work on Fridays, you know, they probably were just like, I'm going to play on Saturday with my friends, and they didn't get to. And last week was new loot across the board, both weapons and armor. And there was a genuine bit of excitement around Trials, which has not been there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So it was unfortunate.
Yeah, let the players play. Fix it. Like, fix it when it's offline. Big Daddy Tej says, Battlegrounds versus Altar. Which do you prefer?
I prefer Battlegrounds. There are a lot of enemies in Altar, but I do prefer Battlegrounds. There's a lot of bad guys in Battlegrounds, and every now and then you have a teammate directly in front of you, and they'll get squished, and that's hilarious.
That is funny.
That is good times. Yeah.
There was one time I think I was running, and I must have been so close to getting squished myself, and then I just saw him go. Pwit! Hilarious every time. Never gets old.
Arlo, I see your question. Should Trials come back half baked? I feel we just answered it though.
Yeah.
MTL Rocker says, how would you feel if Oryx came back after all he did kill his sisters and was able to bring them back?
We have to work with Oryx to take down Savathun.
Oryx and Crow are going to work together to bring us down. So, right?
No.
That's
I want to
the
work
end game
with
content right there.
I want to work with Daddy Oryx. Everyone loves Oryx.
Daddy
Wrap
Oryx.
me in your wings.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I watched a video where Bife said he's like dead. Like he can't be brought back because we killed him in the throne world.
Oh, it just takes a
But,
few,
I mean-
like, you know, writing twists.
I mean, who elected him Lore Master? Not me. Jared said, so the big hype this week in the community is Siva and a season with Siva in it. Do you think we should see Siva return? And do you have any ideas for a return, especially with Wrath making a return sometime in Destiny 2? Right? So Wrath of the Machine is probably going to come back. They're going to do all the raids again, theoretically.
True.
Siva, I mean, everybody's talking about Siva. What do you guys think? Siva coming back?
I feel like eventually it would. It's like it's a card, you know? They're holding the card. Siva's one of those cards that they could play for a season or a DLC drop.
The only thing I am struggling a little bit to see how Siva fits into there, like because they've kind of laid out the next few years, right? So I'm kind of like, how does Siva fit into that? And I don't know if I can really see a place where it fits in, but I mean, you never know. Maybe there'll be a season where they bring back the raid and they kind of bring a season around Siva coming back.
Yeah,
it's possible.
Yeah. It's, you know, enemies that are Siva-fied. So they've done a lot of that before in the past with enemies being Isified now and all that. I could see that happening with Siva.
This is totally my fault. This is not Budge's fault, but I have bad feelings about Siva because when I watched the trailer and I saw the bad guys shooting Siva bullets, I was really hoping, and I set an expectation for myself that we were getting a fourth, like, element.
Uh-huh.
And so it didn't turn out that way.
Comes back as an element, are you happy?
I've never felt good about Siva because I've always been like, Siva was kind of disappointing because it wasn't a fourth element. But I set that expectation for myself.
Wouldn't that be weird if there was a Siva class? I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I want to be a nanite master.
But wouldn't you be infected with nanites?
Perfect.
It's like
cool.
It's like you take the,
yeah, cool.
You just sold me.
I was gonna make a joke about the COVID vaccine, like nanobots, but
that's probably not a great idea.
Like, imagine if you clicked on Siva and suddenly you got like the Siva stuff that like manifests on your body when you clicked on it for the subclass. Yeah.
You were shiny as hell with that like Siva thing. The lead up to Siva.
Yeah.
I want to be shiny.
Oh, right. Yeah. Remember the pre
collect
Siva?
Them all.
Yeah. That was awesome.
Collect all the viruses.
Yeah.
Joshua, quote, Joshua coming. If he could have a sequel to any season, what would it be and why is it Season of the Drifter?
A sequel.
Sequel to a season.
Drifter. Oh my god.
You guys playing enough Gambit lately? I don't know.
I am playing a decent amount of Gambit.
I really liked Black Armory.
Fallout put out his God Roll video.
Yeah.
Did you guys get a God Roll yet?
No.
No?
Not a God Roll. I got a decent one. I have I think I have a Killing Wind Wellspring, and then I have I have one that's really good that people yell at me about for not using. I will tell you the entire roll, but it has Rangefinder and Eye of the Storm on it.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I understand. I know. It's good.
Black Armory. That's your favorite one, Tefty? That's the one you want to see a sequel to?
I actually thought Black
I feel
Armory
like that's
was awesome.
the most side story of all the side stories.
It also has Accurized on it, an extended barrel.
Nice.
Sounds good.
I liked Ada.
But it doesn't have Rampage, Briar. 2 taps.
Yeah.
It's worthless. Throw it away. Give it to Paul Tassi so he can spoil it for Fletches.
Side note, I love both of them. We love both of them. Okay.
Yeah. But we also really enjoyed the
I do like the banter. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, the banter is good.
And the thing with Bless is that he's super sarcastic and he does it so well that you don't know if he's joking or not. And
very dry sense of humor.
Yeah, I kind of like that confusion that people have where they're like, does he hate me? I'm not sure. I kind of like the confusion. It makes me laugh.
We gotta get them both on the same show. But Flesh is ain't coming on this show, so he's gonna have a side quest.
True. But Black Army, I do like Ada. I'm actually really happy that she's coming back with Transmog because I think Ada was an unutilized character that was very interesting.
Yeah.
Her story is very interesting. Yeah, I agree with you. I like.
What was the season for Shadowfall?
Shadowfall.
That's the one then. I like that one. I'd like to see more.
Brian
I like that
likes
storyline.
Shadowfall.
Yeah, I like that storyline. No, I just read that. Nick Niss says, in the state of the game a few weeks ago, Gambit didn't even get a mention. What would you like to see Bungie announce for Gambit? Other new maps? Are there any new changes you think are realistic in the short term that would significantly improve the mode?
All right. They're going to announce a new
Speak
mode.
up, Gambit's ears.
They're going to announce a new mode. You're going to get a card, all right? You're going to get matched against other people with the same card, you know, with what they're at on the card. If you get 7 wins in Gambit, you go to the Drifter's boat. And in the Drifter's boat, you get to pop his chest for some special loot. All right? Totally not like Trials at all. Not like Trials at all.
And then you can remove Trials and have that instead. I am still, so as someone who experienced Gambit with very limited amount of weapons being available, and honestly the weapons gotta be in trash, I got to experience Gambit as it's like what it could be, what Gambit could be, where people had kind of a crappy pulse rifle and a crappy sniper and the rocket that did nothing. So when people invaded, it was like you had primary fights, which was very much more interesting than getting hit with a rocket from across the map.
You don't like that?
So no, it's not very engaging.
What
It's
about
not the most
Xenophage?
engaging thing. Even worse, I'd say.
No Xenophage.
Pretty bad. Yeah. So whatever they could do to kind of bring back that feeling of the people who, you know, if you went to an event and you played Gambit, you probably had a good time. Because the thing that makes people so frustrated with Gambit
so
is
drunk,
the invading.
right?
Well, that's probably why also.
Sandbox and that one invader that's like the dog humping the pillow. You tell him to stop, and they go right back to the pillow over and over and over because they're just
He
constantly.
just looks at you while he's humping the pillow.
Yeah, be like,
He's
I'm gonna invade every single time. I'm gonna not even collect
I ain't
notes and
stopping.
stand by the thing so I can invade immediately. That's what I'm doing. It's like, oh my
I'm
god.
telling you, a Gambit that you played at a Rip Briar. The Gambit you played at events was so good. So I don't know if this is like maybe there's a set loadout every week where it's like, hey, now you're using SMGs and shotguns and like, I don't know, something else. I don't know what the answer is, but Gambit genuinely was super fun when people could not invade with cheesy ass weapons.
It's
Maybe
the meta.
they should just get rid of cheesy ass weapons.
But those are the weapons that bring people back to get back in the game to start playing again. And then there's the
True.
same weapons that make people quit playing certain modes because they're so damn cheesy. That little cycle.
The game
right
is
there.
filled with paradoxes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. That's why I'm saying I don't want to be the person that's balancing guns and modes and all this stuff in this game because there's so many types of players that play it and everyone wants different things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steven says, do heavy ammo drops feel like they're weighted differently while using finders, i.e. sword ammo feeling more frequent versus rocket ammo, which feels sparse? If so, should it be tuned? Have you guys noticed this?
From my experience, it is if you think it's predictable, it's not. Like sometimes you can have the finder stuff on and have a dry spell where you just don't get any heavy ammo for basically a whole strike. And the next strike, you just have constant bricks dropping. So I think it's like RNG.
I haven't noticed personally. I was just gonna say I haven't noticed.
Ghost of New York says, what lessons will Bungie learn from 12-man activities in Destiny, and why will it be the wrong lessons? So it's like a monkey paw question, right?
The wrong lessons.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's good that this is not a wrong lesson, but I think it's good that the game didn't completely break when there were 12 people in a raid. That was cool.
Yeah.
Very surprised that even worked.
Yeah.
I think the biggest problem is last gen consoles to make an activity that is genuinely built for 12 people where there's enough ads for all of you to feel overwhelmed. I don't think last gen could deal with that many guardians and then the amount of ads you would need to fulfill that experience. So they could do 12-man stuff, but you probably will be like, oh, I'm kind of just standing here and not doing anything because everyone's killing everything.
What's that new social space called where Crow's apartment is?
The Helm.
That's what it's going to be. A bunch of like, you hit like 12-man activities. The Helm is now a 12-man activity.
You can now go and talk to Crow together.
It's a crammed party in his apartment.
If they drop last gen consoles, well, when that happens, obviously it's not going to happen anytime soon because people can't even get a damn console.
Yeah.
Then we might be seeing some actually like built from the ground up activities for 12 people. I'm sure it's something they'd want to do. They're like, hey, people are having a blast being with a bunch of people and killing a bunch of ads. I don't know when it would be or what it would be.
Yeah.
I would be really careful though. Like I agree with everything that Watts just said. I don't think they'll do this probably until they drop the PS4 and the Xbox One. But when they do this, and hopefully they remember it when that happens, because I'm sure it's 3 years in the future, or 4 years in the future. I hope that they make a match-made things, because 12 men together.
Oh my God.
Men, 12 people together for an activity is going to be a real pain in the neck. So make them match-made activities, and make it like almost like a strike kind of thing, or like that. I think it'd be really fun, and allow you to have a party filled with 12 people, and do it as a party as well.
The most
let both happen.
The what was it called on Mars? The activity where we got 9 people in.
Protocol.
Oh yeah,
Escalation Protocol was so awesome with 9 people, and public area or like patrol zone areas with activities for 12 people would be awesome.
You know what, Tufty? We have been saying this for a long time, where we would like patrol zones to have like world bosses that are
Some mega
really
boss
hard,
shows up and everybody's got to focus
and it pings
damage.
it on the map. It's like world boss inbound,
Yeah.
and then everyone runs to that point. Would be so cool.
That would be the business.
I'm telling, like every time,
that was in Destiny 2 at one point, right? It's like there were world
1.
bosses. Well, yeah, there was. That's right.
Yeah.
There were that. When was
Post
that?
Taken King, once you started doing the story stuff afterwards, remember there was the invisible guys that would show up in patrol areas?
Yeah.
You have to take those down.
That's right. But
And-
it was like that massive, it was like a public event. God, what are those orb things for the Fallen called?
Orb things for the Fallen.
God damn
You
it.
mean
Why
the
can't I
Taken?
remember anything?
The giant orbs for the Taken?
Yeah, the giant orbs for the Taken. Fallen, Taken.
It's the public event that people would always screw up and push it to, or some people would move it to
but
phase
remember
3.
there was like a world ones of those floating around. But yeah, man, it'd be awesome if there was just like a random, like suddenly like Oryx's frozen body falls to Earth and you're like, oh shit, let's go. And like everybody who's in patrol at that time gets a beacon that says like, look, you're probably not going to beat this even if everybody shows up. But if everybody shows up and you beat it, you're going to get some fat loot.
Yeah, I think this is what I want. So a lot of people are like, isn't that just like public events? Isn't that like Flashpoint? No. We're talking about like a difficult world boss. Maybe there's a mechanic you have to do at some point that
about
one
Oryx.
person will be able to do.
Oryx
Yeah, we're
shows up.
talking about something difficult and not just giving you 2 blues or something. Like
Yeah,
getting
none of that
like
hurt.
genuine loot
Fuck your
that people
blues.
want.
Most rewarding event ever.
Because like right now, right, people are grinding Crucible and Gambit to get these weapons. Throw some of those weapons in a world boss and have it be like this big event that brings everyone to this one location to work together, because a lot of Destiny is awesome, like more awesome when you're doing it with a ton of people. For example, the live events that we've had in Destiny, the first one was kind of slow and a little, took a while, but it was fun because you were with a bunch of random people in the tower doing emotes and hanging out. Like that was a good time. So I want more of that. Allow me to hang out with random people and do stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But the
What was that
12-man
Mars event
activity,
called?
though.
It was so fun.
The Mars event, Escalation Protocol.
Yeah,
Well said.
Escalation Protocol. They never gone back to that.
Yeah, the 12-man activity really does need something though that you can drop in, drop out of easily. Like you can't go and like start a 1-hour activity with 12 people. Like it's going to be chaos getting everybody focused on that. You need something where
Good point.
a bunch of people jump in and are like, let's freaking take down this boss because it's a world boss and it's crazy. And like you can keep on going. You could restart it.
Like Escalation Protocol.
Escalation Protocol is the example. It really is.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That was the best gift that Vicarious Vision gave Destiny. And
it was really awesome. You see random people doing it, and you're like, "Oh, I'll hop in and try and help you guys. You guys are in the middle. You're on like wave 3. I'm in. Let's do it."
Yeah, and it's like chaos because there's so many people doing it. Yeah. Like it's fun. I would love to see Bungie like really kind of lean into that again because
I've always wanted the patrol experience to be some of the best content in Destiny, and it's always fun in the beginning, but it never ends up becoming like the pinnacle activity. And I always want to like just randomly run into an area that suddenly becomes super high level and like intense, and you have a bunch of people going ham on one thing. Like that's just fun, like Escalation Protocol.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna put lightning mode rules into place here because
let's do it.
We're on page 3 of 10 pages for Twitter questions.
Okay, lightning.
Lightning mode.
Fast.
Here we go.
Remember, okay. Okay.
Ghost of New York says, "What lessons will Bungie learn from?" Never mind. I just read that one. James Carey says, "For any of you who've done a GM Nightfall, what loadouts have been your jam?"
I have not, but I've heard Ursa Furiosa, stasis hunters are good, bows, scout rifles, and snipers.
123 says, "How many licks does it take to get to the center of the Traveler?" 69. A 1, a 2. 69 is the answer. Merc is a jerk says, "When transmog comes next season, once transmog comes next season, armor is only going to be a stat stick. With that in mind, how would you guys change armor to make the chase engaging?"
It's not a lightning question.
Yeah, that's not a lightning question. Like, why do we need to make it engaging? We've been asking for this forever.
If something looks badass, I'm gonna get it so I can transmog it.
Bingo. Or if it's got high stats, I'm gonna use that to transmog something that looks good onto it.
Boom.
Maybe they made a change to hunters, and now their dodge is based on resilience. Now all of a sudden, I want to go chase resilience armor. There you go. Things will change. Things will change.
Get answered. Question.
William James Corwin says, "Are you guys going to be grinding out adept weapons and mods from the Grandmasters?"
I actually will this season because there's a reason to do it instead of just like, hey, here's how good I am at PvE and it's awesome. I want adept loot.
Ask me that question once I hit 1325.
Muttbeard says, "Anyone else think it's odd that Eris Drifter and Exo Stranger haven't done anything since Beyond Light? Don't get me wrong, I'm really enjoying their storytelling at the moment, but it seems odd after all the build up during Arrivals."
I agree. You know, they went on a journey, they went to the moon, and then it's like, hey, we're here, we're chilling by this fire, and then we never saw them together ever again.
I mean, Ikora abandoned us, so same thing. Not odd at all. It happens with all the characters.
They're just abandoning us slowly.
Like, due to budgetary concerns, I think that Bungie can only tell so many stories at the same time. But yes, it is weird that they kind of jump between these stories. It's weird. Zero Hero says, "With VOD coming back, do you think we'll be getting random rolls on weapons?"
Yes.
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 And adept.
Oh shit.
Oh, adept raid. Or adept fate bringer.
Yeah.
Brian,
did you just delete all the questions? Is that what?
No. I just clicked off of it and I had to go and find my place. Kessler 23632 says, "So this season has brought up the idea of possibly teaming up with the Cabal. Story-wise, do you think the Guardians should, or should we push the Cabal out once and for all?"
I think
we should pretend we're gonna combine with them.
Frenemies.
But then stab them in the ass.
Frenemies. That's what we need.
That's
with
a juicy
Cabal.
ass. I don't know if you're gonna get far if you stab Cabal in the ass. They're juicy.
You're gonna need a bigger knife.
Stick them.
What's this?
I like that reenaction.
Hey Blaze says, what are your thoughts about rumors that the Hammer of Proving could be the next exotic weapon we get?
I like it. I want it.
I want more melee weapons.
Same.
I think that'd be
I
fun.
need nunchucks in Destiny.
Mhm.
Oh man, have I talked to you about the new Ninja Turtles?
Yeah.
Michelangelo's coming.
Yes, you have.
Exciting, man. I'm definitely excited about that.
Josh Haig says, hi everyone. I would like to know if you guys like to see the horn system come back again. Personally, for me, it was fun and funny, he says. No, it was annoying, Josh. It was annoying.
I
Beep,
think,
beep, beep,
Briar,
beep,
I
beep,
think
beep,
the
beep,
problem
beep,
is
beep, beep, beep,
you were
beep,
playing
beep,
with
beep,
people
beep,
like
beep, beep, beep,
Yeah, you're
are
playing
questioning.
playing with annoying people, Brian.
Beep.
Briar,
You
gotta
need
stop
to
that.
be the annoyer, not the annoy.
beep, beep,
And you need to be the annoyance, not the
What if you got a
annoying.
horn that sounded like Oryx? You can tell me.
What
you
does he
don't-
do?
Yeah. You know, some crazy
That
Oh,
shit
horn.
that's
was
good.
annoying, man.
I want
All
that.
over the place. Beep, 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 beep.
I'd like the horns back. Why not?
Yeah, customizability's fun.
Why not?
Buzzard says, how do you see Destiny ending from a story perspective? Will our Guardians walk off toward the sunset knowing we rid the universe of the darkness? Will we ally with our enemies to get there? Perhaps share some fuck you, Buzzard.
Share a little Briar barbecue.
little Briar, the last meal with a little Briar.
I think what we're gonna do is it's gonna end with us walking up to the Traveler and tapping in a little like a faucet thing to like pour out some Traveler juice whenever we need. Just a little like a tap. We'll put a tap into the Traveler.
Delicious.
Get a little ether straight from the source and then knock it back. You're done. End of the story.
Lovely. I think we'll defeat the darkness, quote unquote, but I think that the other enemies will continue to stay in the universe and we'll have a reason to continue fighting. I think the Traveler's going to take the fuck off. Like, if this doesn't end with the Traveler leaving, I'm actually going to be kind of disappointed. I can't imagine like how the Traveler sticks around, because the Traveler is known to be a hit it and quit it kind of guy.
Count down until it goes out for smokes and never comes back.
Yeah,
And then
right.
we
Go
become
get
friends
smoked.
with Fallen.
Be like, the Fallen. We're treated exactly like the Fallen. Unbelievable.
And then we realize that we are indeed like all the bad guys all along.
We have murdered a lot
And that's
of
how it
aliens.
ends. You're
We're
like,
gonna go
wow.
attack another universe. Like, hey,
Probably. We're going to get in a ship. We're going to go, all right, let's go look at some other places. And then we're going to realize there's a lot
we
of stuff
realize
for us to
we
murder.
are the bad guys.
Yeah.
We turn into the bad guys. That's true.
But we make
Mhm.
rectangular ships instead of pyramid ships. And suddenly it's
Yeah.
the, oh
Good
no,
point. Good point.
the dark rectangles are coming.
I want to... Never mind.
Ishka YouTube says, would you rather be a Warlock main or start each day chowing down on delicious, moisture-free flake chocolate bars?
Jesus. I'm definitely being a Warlock main.
I mean, this is easy for me.
I already am a
love
Warlock main,
flakes.
so.
I love flakes. Easy.
I love
Thank you.
Warlocks. Warlocks are wonderful. Why would you wish that dryness on anybody?
Yeah, well,
enjoy
on
it.
second thought, one flake, just the sheer cracking of one flake could absorb all the Warlock piss that you just released on the floor from your
True. It's very
from your
absorbent.
puddle, you know?
Really, they go hand in hand.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I think the answer is both. You take both.
Yeah.
The answer is, yeah, maybe both.
The Gundam Otaku says, how many good deeds does Crow have to do in order for him to be in your good graces? Let me ask you something, Gundam Otaku. If I killed your brother, how many good deeds would I have to do to be back in your good graces?
Wow.
Fair.
Well, that's a fair question.
Yeah.
Sith Assassin says, with the Witch Queen delayed until next year, is it finally time for the return of the DCP favorite, Barrow Racing? We all know you love it in Warlocks.
I actually liked Sparrow Racing. I didn't mind it. It was fun. No meme.
I thought it was like a bad racing game. It's like, if I want to play a good racing game, I'm going to play a different game. This is
the forklift
a
man.
mediocre. This is a mediocre racing game, and I came here to play a shooter, not a mediocre racing game.
Were you just bad at it?
Maybe.
There was definitely some technique involved with sparrow racing.
There was, but like, if I want to play a racing game, I'd rather play like Forza or something.
I feel you on that.
John.
Yeah. Anyways, lightning round. Yeah.
John Ariarte says, what other streamers does the crew watch?
Ooh.
Not Destiny, he says. In
Not
quotes.
Destiny streamers.
Not Destiny.
I watch a lot of YouTube and streamers. I watch Lulu Lovely. She plays lots of Apex. And
Doesn't
she's
she
great.
make those really tight-fitting sweatpants?
No, that's Lululemon.
Oh.
She's amazing. She's really, really good, and she's awesome to watch. I watch Komiko. She's awesome. Hasanabi. For League of Legends, I watch Night Blue and Afromu. That'll do for now. I'll keep thinking.
Okay. Daphne?
Nice.
Been watching any other streamers?
Lately, I haven't really been watching a lot. I mean, I usually watch my friends, honestly. Like I watch Watts playing, Monster Hunter and all that, and like Holt's playing Genshin Impact.
Yeah.
I will watch you guys play. When you are on, like a lot of times I'll just have you honestly, a lot of the time you're on mute. And I'll just kind of like look over. And if chat is like erupting, then I'll take you off of mute and see what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, it's really nice to I watch Fran pretty much every evening to just like hang out with him
That's too
and
late
the
for me.
community.
I'm in bed. I'm an old man.
He starts very late.
Yeah. Same with Jay Sniperton. Like you guys
Very
are like
late.
just getting going like when I'm like ready to go to bed.
Yeah, watching Fran.
Sometimes Jay is still going when I wake up.
Yeah.
Tefty used to do that too. Tefty would still be going when I wake up.
I used to have late hours, man. Yeah. Watching Fran actually is what intrigued me about Warzone, because he likes to play it quite a bit. Warzone.
Yeah. I've been watching a lot of, I think it's called the NLBC, but I'm not actually sure about this. But it's a weekly event held in New York. Obviously there's no tournaments happening right now for fighting games, but these guys hold online tournaments. Spooky, I think it's called Spooky. He puts them on. I don't know the terminology, but I've been playing a lot of Street Fighter 5 lately, and I've been having fun watching like highly competitive players, like who are the best at what they do, play the same game that I'm ineptly playing. That's fun. So I've been having fun watching that.
Nice.
James Carey says, so we all know Briar hates the use of bungo in reference to Bungie. What should replace it?
Bingo.
I don't know, man. You think it's something good. The problem I have with bungo is it's unimaginative. It's been used for too long. And it's like a tired fucking joke. Like,
how about
get something new? Every time somebody says bungo, I'm like, you are not imaginative enough to think of your own fucking joke. So your opinion doesn't matter. How about that? You're not smart enough to think of your own joke. So you're not smart enough for me to worry about your opinion. How's that sound?
How about Bungarita?
I like it. Bungarita
Alcoholic.
sounds pretty good.
You know,
Like margarita.
like a margarita,
Yeah.
exactly.
Uh-huh.
Cinco
Can
de
you make
Mayo's
it?
in a
Can you make it
month.
somehow work with like a burrito? Bungarito.
Doesn't it already kind of? Oh, I see.
And
Yeah.
then it's just burrito.
Yeah. We've gone to a burrito. Yeah.
I like
What
Bungarito
about-
better.
Barbecue Briar Bungie.
God damn it. Mr. Night Guy says, it's my birthday tomorrow. What is the best dessert to have after some barbecue Briar? Fuck you. Duo Shade says,
You should
Happy
drink a
birthday.
Bungarita.
You should have a margarita with your Briar.
Duo Shade says, regular or decaf? Oh, okay. This is like a multiple choice answer.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask the question. Everybody has to answer quickly. Then I'm going to quickly move on to the next one. There's 5 here.
Okay.
Regular or decaf? Regular.
Regular.
Decaf.
Boxers or briefs? Boxer briefs.
Yeah, like the hybrid. I like those hybrids.
Yeah, boxer briefs are the way to go.
Box please.
Mayo or mustard? Mustard.
Mustard for me. Yeah, usually.
Mayo.
Aisle or window seat?
Window.
Window.
Aisle.
Beatles or the Stones?
Ooh.
This is the hardest one.
Beatles.
It totally depends on the mood to me.
Yeah, this is mood
Beatles.
dependent.
I'll go Beatles.
All right, I think Beatles because of how much variety there is in the catalog.
I'm tempted to go Beatles, but man, I really like the Stones too.
Yeah,
it's
man.
like it's hard for me to like choose between the two. But in solidarity, I will go Beatles. Hades says, if you could have anyone from pop culture call your Crucible matches, who would it be?
Ooh. David Attenborough.
That's
That's
a good
what
one.
I want. That would
Excellent.
be amazing.
Like if your stream had David Attenborough during the voiceover, it would be the best nap time stream of all time.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You'd be like,
It's true.
I'm just gonna settle into watch the stream, take a little nap with David
Damn.
Attenborough, talking about all the people she's killing.
that would be great.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm drawing a blank after that like solid answer of David Attenborough.
Hulk Hogan?
Sure. Yeah.
Ooh, Macho Man. Randy Savage.
Be good too. Yeah.
That'd be pretty good. The classic answer, I feel like, is Snoop.
Snoop would be good.
Just-
Samuel L. Jackson.
he did-
Yeah.
Black Ops 2, you could buy a voice pack for Snoop Dogg of Black Ops 2.
I remember.
It was basically the best $10 I ever spent.
You know what? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Jarvis from the Marvel Universe.
Jarvis.
Ooh,
Yeah.
interesting.
You know, personally, I'd prefer David Attenborough. I think your answer is the best. But to throw
I do
something
think
else
your
out
answer's the
there,
best.
something else into the wind, I'm gonna go with Jarvis.
Watch as the psychopathic Mrs. Watts stalks her prey.
I am a Night Stalker. It's pretty accurate. You can, fun fact: you can watch Snoop Dogg streaming various games and being very bad at them.
He is a streamer.
He does.
I'm not sure he's actually playing.
Didn't he rage
He's
quit?
Smoking pot. And somebody else is playing.
He
some
rage
shit.
quit Monster
Yeah,
Hunter.
Didn't he rage quit like something recently? Forgot to turn
Yeah,
off the stream.
he rage quit fighting Magnum Mallow, and then there was another thing where he was like, "Am I still streaming? Wait,
Oh yeah, man.
that would be bad."
Bro was like, been there. First time.
Been there. Rage quit. Rage quit and own it, man. Richard McLean says there's a post online where a guy had to get his leg amputated. So him and his friends used the leg meat to make tacos. If Briar ever gets a limb amputated, will you guys put your money where your mouth is, put the dead meme to rest, and have a Briar barbecue?
Yes,
Maybe?
gotta follow through, man.
We
follow
No,
through.
you don't.
Yeah,
No,
I'm following
you don't.
through.
I feel
It'll taste like pork, probably.
Yeah, you betting on pork?
That's what humans taste like, according
They
to a
call
cannibal.
him long pork.
According to a cannibal who I think it was a cannibal in Japan who went to jail for like 5 minutes, came out and was
5
like,
minutes.
"So here's what humans taste like," and it was like, "Yeah, it tastes like pork."
Wait, he
Tastes
went
like
in
pork.
jail and then 5 minutes and ate everybody? He was like,
So
these guys taste like pork.
He went to
Not a lot
jail
of people
for
in that jail.
He went to jail for cannibalism,
eater.
but he wasn't there for long. I don't know how long he was in there, but he got out. The fact that he just got out after killing and eating people was quite amazing to me.
This is bizarre.
But yeah, then
Definitely killed him.
Yeah. He wrote like a whole book on what humans taste like and all of
Wrote a
that.
book
So if
about
you
it?
want to know what humans taste like,
Good
there
lord.
you go. Congratulations. Now you know. It's pork. Pork belly briar.
It was very uncomfortable.
I think this is making me uncomfortable now.
I feel attacked.
Not attacked. You're getting your leg amputated. It's it's
You're
totally
sharing.
consensual.
Sharing is caring. Dreadnought says, what's one tiny insignificant thing that you hate when people brag about for some reason? What's one thing that people brag about that just drives you up the wall?
Being a
I hate
being
when rich people talk about being self-made. Like it really drives me crazy. And like you might think that's political, but I grew up in Connecticut, and like there are rich people all over the place around here, and they all went to like private school like for $60,000 a year from the time they were like in kindergarten to the time they were like out at graduating college. They're like, yeah, I'm self-made. I started a business, and like bullshit.
It's like the how to make it in Toronto. Being like,
Do you know those
have
clamshell?
the coffee,
You know those plastic clamshell packages that you have to open with scissors, and you always cut your fingers open when you're opening them. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Do memory cards come in there?
Memory cards, probably not. More like a Walkman. No, Walkman wouldn't be a thing anymore. I'm talking like it's a big like bubble of plastic. Yeah. The only way to get into this thing is to cut it with scissors. It's always sharp as hell. I met the dude who claims he invented these things, and I called him a bastard to his face. He's like, "Yeah, I get that a lot."
I can't really think of anything. I'm sure there's something. Maybe just when people are bragging all the time. Not like a specific thing, but I just see them bragging all the time.
Like that's their main.
Yeah, like that's their thing that they post
their
on
version of small talk.
People bragging about being a D1 alpha vet.
People bragging about eating 3D Doritos and then mama burning them. That really
hits you in the soft spot.
Yeah, I don't know. Just the people that are they just brag all the time, and you're like, I get it. You said this yesterday, the day before. I understand. Yes,
right.
you're doing.
You're
doing
cool.
great. You're doing great. I'm happy for you. Now stop it. You're making other people feel bad and insignificant.
Dropkick says, for the group, if Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and subsequent characters were spirit animals, who would be yours? So anybody from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles universe could be your spirit animal. Who would you choose?
So one of the Ninja Turtles?
Yeah. Well, no,
it
anybody.
Could be
Bebop,
anyone.
Rocksteady, Craig.
Yeah. Rhino.
You could be the pizza if you want. If that's what you're into.
Pizza. I mean, I'm thinking I'm more on Michelangelo because he was such a connoisseur of the pizza.
Was there a cop in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Probably at some point. Yeah, I would expect there was a.
Who was that dude, Casey, who like had the Friday the 13th mask and like a hockey stick? Casey
Jones?
Casey Jones, yeah.
Was it Casey Jones?
Yeah, Casey Jones.
I think it's Casey Jones.
Yeah.
I think so.
That dude.
I'd be Raphael. I really like his weapons. He's cool.
The Psy blades.
Psy.
Yeah, he's an ultimate ninja.
He's so turtle. Fucking like emo though.
I'm pretty emo. You know, I eat briar.
It's pretty emo.
It's pretty emo. Pretty
You're gonna put briar on your pizza? It's basically pork.
Yes.
I feel like I'm somewhere between Donatello and Michelangelo. Okay. A little bit of Bebop and Rocksteady mixed in there.
It was Donatello was like the scientist, right?
Yeah.
Scientist and kind of level-headedness. Leonardo was the leader.
Guy.
Yeah, tech guy, exactly.
No, not Leonardo, Michelangelo.
Oh, sorry.
It had nothing to do with. I have managed people, and I don't like it. I don't like being in management.
Michelangelo's great because he's got the nunchucks and he's 100% on board for pizza at any given time whatsoever. 100%.
That is my personality right there.
That's prior.
I'm 100% on board for pizza at any time.
Yeah.
And I'll fuck with a nunchuck. Fuck it. Did you guys have those foam nunchucks? Remember those? Was that like a? Yeah, those were fun.
I remember them for sure. I don't know if I ever had any.
I remember having the foot-tall dolls of the Ninja Turtles, and I'd take their weapons and go out and pretend that I'm, a Ninja Turtle.
But they were still tiny weapons to you.
Yeah, but I feel like so as a kid, I was like 6 or 7 or something like that. I felt like I could hold the side blade and be like, "This is crazy," imagination, obviously.
I got you. Matta says, "What happened to Ferrari Fridays?" Nat, it's COVID, brother. You know, like, what are you gonna do? It's COVID. Those things are like petri dishes on wheels.
Isn't that just the Ferrari?
Ferraris. Yeah. Do you know how much the average amount of cocaine can like transform? Yeah. Okay. So there's like, what do you think? An average of like 1 ounce of cocaine in every Ferrari cup holder. Like, how much does the average ounce of cocaine like transform COVID to be the next strain of COVID? Right? You don't want to be anywhere near a Ferrari.
Cocaine is the multiplier?
COVID. At least 4 Fridays.
Yeah. Yeah. And also the Michelangelo Ferrari.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That would be the ultimate thing, right? Is a Ferrari painted with like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles like shit on it.
Yeah, four Ferraris. Actually, one for Splinter.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, you gotta have 5 Ferraris. Yeah. You gotta have one for Shredder too.
Sure, no, but it's not a Ferrari. It's like a Lamborghini.
Yeah, you're right. No, it's like a. Yeah, you're right. It's something different, but
Aston
it's like
Martin.
It's more serious and like mean.
You know, considering what we talk about while not being high, I would love to know where this could derail to.
Hold up, you guys aren't high?
Fozzie Wazzy says, choosing from anything in your own immediate vicinity, what item would you pick to make a family heirloom to be passed down for generations? So look around.
Oh, I got the perfect thing. Look at this. The mug.
Oh, that's cool.
Miss 5,000 watts.
Awesome
that's
mug.
pretty good.
Dreg's Promise.
Hell yeah.
Look at that.
That's pretty
You
good.
can remember the happy days when Dreg's Promise was here and Bungie didn't hate me.
Tefty, what would you pick? Your badge?
I'll go with Pope's gift.
The family heirloom.
There we go. The emoji.
How about an arcade stick?
That's nice.
That'd be pretty cool, right? This was Grandpappy Briar's arcade stick.
Right before he got eaten. Then his arcade stick was given out.
Right before he got eaten in the great podcast disaster of 2021.
All of a sudden, Briar, as being old, turned Southern for some reason. I'm not really sure why.
Sure.
Yeah, this is, you said Grandpappy, and you're talking old. So
Grandpappy.
This is like 6 generations later.
Yes,
so maybe they moved to the south.
In the PlayStation 5 arcade stick. Playing that Street Fighter.
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter 10.
With that Chun-Li. Jeremy Harmon says, do any of you plan on watching Jack Snyder's Justice League? I watched it today, and I loved the whole experience.
Isn't it kind of weird? It's in 4:3 or 3, aspect ratio.
What? It is?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
To preserve their artistic vision?
Mm-hmm.
But okay.
Is that
I'm
something
gonna watch
you
it because
you
it's
dislike?
COVID, and I basically watch everything.
Is that a thing you don't like people bragging about? They're maintaining their artistic visions.
Well, he filmed it in
4
16 by 9.
Nah, it was probably like what 2 to 1 or
21
something like
by yeah.
It was filmed for
Yeah.
IMAX, so
Yeah.
they're keeping it. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna watch it on a CRT the way it's meant to be watched.
There you go. That's
What do
probably
you
the
think about
best way
that?
to watch it.
Zachary.
I'll probably fall asleep watching it, but I'll try.
Hell yeah.
that. What
I
is,
hope I do. I
what is
love
it on
falling
again?
asleep during
Is it on
movies.
HBO Max? Is it on HBO Max?
Probably. I don't know.
Yes, probably. I'm gonna say yes.
I have to, berate my mom for canceling her subscription to HBO Max.
God damn it, Mom!
I was about to watch The Hobbit, and you canceled the subscription. Come on.
Also, bring me a cheese sandwich.
That's a long.
4 hours? It's 4 hours.
It's 4
long?
hours.
In 4x3.
That's why I
4
said I'm
hours?
gonna fall asleep.
Jesus, Jack
I'm gonna
Snyder.
fall
4
asleep,
hours
wake up,
long.
and then fall asleep
You
again.
need 3
Yeah.
breaks. You need 3
that's-
intermissions.
That's a
Yeah,
few
I'm gonna need
naps.
to watch it over 4 days, probably.
Yeah.
Wilvin says, "What's your favorite pinball machine?" He suggests Adam's Family. I don't think I've ever played an Addams Family.
I don't think I've had enough
Pinball.
pinball machine experience to
I
to have a
haven't. I think
favorite.
I've
I'm
only
kind of
played
the
like
same.
2.
Yeah.
I enjoy a good pinball machine, but I don't have enough experience with them that I can tell you.
Is this one of these
Yeah.
things
Good.
where it's like, you know, how people get into collecting things and then like, wow, like collecting cars, you got to have a lot of space if you're going to start collecting cars. I imagine pinball
Yeah.
machines are the same level of like, you got to have a lot of space if you're collecting pinball machines and then to have a favorite.
Well, there are places you can go play pinball. They call them arcades.
What's an arcade?
There's actually several in New York.
They're
Like pinball specific arcades.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have enough experience with pinball.
Yeah, sorry.
Pokemon pinball, it rattles like the cartridge rattles when it's in your Game Boy. It's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Wayne says you've just inherited a nameless pirate ship and must christen it before you set sail for the 7 seas. What will you call your pirate vessel, and who on the podcast will be your first mate? So name your pirate vessel and your first mate. I'm definitely choosing Watts because
Oh,
Watts is going to be the most ruthless fucking pirate of all time.
What do you
no.
name
Murder.
it?
She's going to murder people and eat them.
Okay, I got the name for you. The HMS Murder.
Great
HMS
name.
Murder.
I love it.
And I want to be on the boat too. Invite me.
Oh, you could be on the boat.
Okay.
You can be my first second mate.
Can I be the Can I be the master of parking?
Fuck yeah.
Awesome.
You're the pilot. You're the pilot of the boat.
You always got to pay a little parking fee every time you dock your ship. You know?
That's what I
True.
understand.
Yeah.
That's true.
Hugo Rune 79 says, emergency question. If you had a silo, what would you store in it? Watts would store dead bodies.
I don't kill people.
Yet.
That's what I would say too if I killed people.
Not kill daddy.
Got some books you plan on writing? What would I store? You know what? Gold. Store a bunch
Yeah,
of
do
gold.
I get like a free unlimited supply of anything I want to store in my silo?
I'm
'Cause
gonna
if
assume,
that's
yeah.
true. I'm doing gold.
Yeah, just store a bunch of gold in your silo. Hopefully no one finds it. Because, you know, that's one thing, though. If you had suddenly had a gold silo or a silo full of gold and it was on your farm
Yeah.
out in the middle of nowhere,
Yeah.
you'd be like, what if someone realized I have a ton of gold out in the open in
Who's
this
gonna
silo?
know? Like, do you like drive down the highway, see a silo, and be like, I bet that shit's full of gold. I'm gonna rob that motherfucker.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, you do now.
No, actually, what I'm saying is the psychology behind it, though. At first, it's just
Yeah.
some silo that you store your grain in. And now it's like, oh, crap, I got a bunch of gold in that silo. I got to do something with it. More
I
money,
feel
more
like
problems,
this problem
man.
is solved in like a weekend. You're gonna be able to take all the gold out of the thing, deposit it in the bank.
In
You're
a
rich as
weekend?
fuck with an empty silo.
In a silo? You know how heavy that is? You're going to you have to hire a team.
I feel like with a couple of close friends and some rented heavy machinery, we could take care of this.
But then your friends know about the gold.
My father-in-law is a pipe
Exactly,
jack.
Watts.
Yeah, doesn't
Watts-
that open you up to murder?
I'm just- Share it
Watts
with my
knows
friends.
about your gold, and she's already planning on killing you. So,
How about I pay you
Motives.
$10 million to help me for the weekend?
wonder what a silo full of gold actually translates to monetarily.
A whole
Neither one.
shitload of money. Like, there's only like so much gold in the whole world that's been discovered, and I bet it's not a silo full of gold.
You know, I bet you could fill up all of your Ferraris for all of your Fridays with a lot of cocaine with that gold. At least
I bet you could
4
make
Ferrari
Ferraris
Fridays.
out of cocaine.
What do you use to stick cocaine together to make a car out of it?
Carbon fiber.
Bingo.
I was thinking peanut butter, but maybe
You
not.
go with peanut butter if you want. You can also install a brick oven into your Ferrari so you can make pizzas on the road.
Oh shit, that's so
Ooh.
Italian it hurts.
So Italian, it hurts.
The Mohican 9 says, would you win in a fight between you and the Trix rabbit?
Oh, the rabbit's beating me, I think. The rabbit seems like he's got a dark past and a lot of tricks.
Yeah, it's, all those years being on a box.
I'm not a kid anymore, so he's going to be like, tricks are for kids.
And I think that Tricks Rabbit's a pussy. I'm going to put him down.
Well, that's because you're Briar Rabbit.
Gonna put him down.
You know the rabbit strats.
I'm trying to remember the commercials. I feel like the commercials, he was really tricksy,
He's creepy.
I don't think he was that tricksy. I think he just ran away from a bunch of 4-year-old kids. He's like, look how tricky I am. I'm fooling these 4-year-old kids.
Yeah. But that would finance the anger within the rabbit to become a super murderer and
you think he's wicked bitter by now? Because that shit was 30 years ago.
Yeah,
right? Tricks Rabbit commercials were large, and he's been sitting there just thinking about how all those fucking kids stole all his cereal.
That rabbit's rabid at this
starving, living on Skid Row.
Mm-hmm. And it's coming
for his chance.
It's coming for your silo full of gold.
So about that, a Cobalt Hero in chat said they did the math. If you had an entire silo full of gold, you'd have approximately 9 billion.
9 billion. Okay,
billion.
Brian, you're right. You can.
Million.
No, it says billion. Yeah, billion. You could pay people 10 million to help you out.
Yeah. Hell, I'll throw him a cool bill. You know?
You got 9 of them.
Damn.
Hey, Taft, what are you doing this weekend? I don't know, man. I'm out all the way in California. I'm like, hey, how about I throw you a cool billion? Come help me out. I think you'd probably make it.
I'd be like, well, let me check my schedule. Clear some things.
No.
Bring your
Cobalt,
own
we're taking
wheelbarrow.
your word on it. Your math is now law. That's a
law.
kilo. Yeah, a silo full of gold is $9 billion. That's what it is. Put it in Wikipedia, Urban Dictionary.
I like to measure my gold in silos.
Yep. 9 billion silos.
Alex Ziggy, the giffer of gifts, says cake or death.
What?
He's got 2 questions. Cake or death?
Cake or death?
I'm going to say cake.
Can I eat the cake? Thanks.
I'll take the cake.
This is when's the chill pirate vibe stream happening? We got to do that. We got to have a chill pirate vibe stream where we talk about
where you review beer.
Yeah.
Tefty reviews police tactics.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll review weed.
Perfect.
I will review
me and Watts get high as
synthesizers.
Fuck,
Thank you very much.
Tefty narcs us out. Awesomeness says 2018 was Lamborghinis, 2019 was Ferraris. What luxury sports car will you guys be racing in 2021? I think the Pope Mobile is a good choice here because you get that protective bubble, keep you free
Pretty
from
safe.
all the
True.
yeah, right. It's like you get that protection from the COVID, which I think you need right now.
Yeah, I don't know
That
what
is
the
a
Pope
good
Mobile
choice.
Racing Pope Mobile.
sounds pretty
That's
good.
a good choice.
Yeah.
I do like
or a
that.
DeLorean to go back in time.
Ooh. Do a little time travel. I like that too. I'm gonna go
If
with time
I
travel.
had, if I called you today, Watts, and I said, "Look, Watts, I can sell you a DeLorean mint condition, running for 10 grand," what would you do?
Is it the second movie one or the first movie one?
It's not a movie one. It's just a straight up DeLorean.
Does it also time travel?
No, it
It's
only
just a
drives
DeLorean.
a straight line slowly.
If it's
I'd say no,
if I
thank
can't
you.
time travel. That's
No
worse than my
DeLorean?
friend.
10 grand? You wouldn't?
I
For
want
10
time
I have
travel.
to pay 10 grand for this?
Yeah.
No.
You
Deal's
wouldn't be
off.
the proud owner of a DeLorean
I'll
for
pay you
10
10
grand?
grand for a time traveling DeLorean. It has to be the second movie though, so it works off of garbage. And flies.
Well, that's just practical. Now you're recycling.
True.
Last question of the night. I think we nailed the bonus round. Nice
Yes,
job,
we did.
everybody.
Good job.
Tony says, with the vaccine, I think we've gained a little bit of hope back.
Yeah.
So in the theme of hope and joy, what is one time you felt hope for a better future? Maybe you were at your weakest point, but something kept you from giving up. Love you all, longtime fan, day one Warlock and proud.
I have the answer. So, there's a movie called A Silent Voice. It's a movie that deals with there's a girl who is deaf and she gets picked on by a boy in class for being deaf. And then later on, they meet each other again, and it deals with suicide and a lot of dark stuff. And I watched that during a period of depression where I couldn't get out of it. Nothing that I did could make it any better, no matter what I did. And I watched A Silent Voice when I was feeling like that, and that actually pulled me out of it. And I've talked to a few people who had a similar experience with that movie, because it gave me a perspective, and it was enough of a perspective to kind of knock me out of the depression cloud that just kind of completely overwhelms you. It was enough to knock me out of that to then move past that depressive period. So that was something that was like, wow, that movie really made a big impact and made me able to kind of slowly work back to being normal again. So absolutely, Silent Voice is great. Helps
cool.
a lot of
Good
people.
one. I'm going to check that movie out.
Yeah.
It's an anime movie, so it's right up your alley, Bray.
For me, it's the weekly meetings that I have with actual people. So we do the podcast, and I really enjoy talking to real people and laughing and enjoying myself. And since my mother got the COVID vaccine, I've been able to see her every Wednesday. We have lunch, and that's been really good. So for me, it's not one event. It's the constant small events that are really helping me out right now, where I'm actually able to start like seeing people. And I'm lucky enough to, I think I could get the vaccine on the 22nd of this month. So I'm really excited about that. I'm hoping I can get the one dose.
The Johnson.
So it's just, get in there and get out and be like, but we'll see. But I feel like things are looking up, right? It's like I think Tony's got it right here. It's like things are looking up, right? I think they're actually looking. It's looking like it's going to go faster than maybe we predicted. Like it's really ramping up.
Mm-hmm.
I think something like 30 million people have already been vaccinated.
Can't wait for my vaccination.
Yeah, same.
Me too.
I think it's the little things, finding little things in life. Like it's so important to just little acts, like taking a walk every day. For a while, Memes and I stopped walking because things were getting really bad in California, and it was just like, it wears on you, all of the stuff of all the things you consider, and like the social dynamics of who's gonna give way on the sidewalk and all that stuff, it weighs on you, and so there was like a period where we stopped walking, and like I realized that it's so important, just the daily activity of going outside and walking, and like you said, Briar, like going. My parents are finally vaccinated now, and I can go see them. Like that's so huge, that interaction right there. So it's the little things in life. It's not so much of big sweeping changes, but more of like the little things that all add up over time that you look back and wish you had more of that. I feel like those are the things that give you hope. Yeah.
That's it. That was the last question.
And that's what we think of the Grandmaster Nightfalls.
Right?
Yeah.
Watts, who's our fourth guest today? What's the name of the character?
Which character do we have? I don't have it up. Is it from the last
blue
time?
hair?
Blue hair, pretty sleepy.
Hold on. Pretty what?
Pretty sleepy.
Pretty sleepy. Oh, I can't remember the name. Oh no. It's Fran. It's Fran Mirabella.
Fran Mirabella.
It's Fran.
Yeah, he dyed his hair recently. And he's sleepy because whenever he comes on the podcast, he's always like, "Oh, I gotta go eat my spaghetti. I'm so hungry." So that's what
it's like 6 p.m. Pacific time. So he just woke up.
He just woke up. He's really hungry. That's Fran. It's Fran Mirabella.
Oh man. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for listening to our shenanigans here on DCP. Episode number 230. That is amazing. 230 episodes.
That's a lot of episodes.
Yes.
These, if you add the old show to that, that's
about
I think that's real close to 300.
That's approximately a silo of gold of shows.
That's a silo of podcasts.
I want to thank our Patreon members and our Twitch subs for supporting the show and shows here on DCP. We really appreciate it. And yeah, Watts, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Just look for Miss 5000 Watts. Next week is Monster Hunter time.
Monster Hunter.
Is that next week?
It's
What day
next week.
Next Friday.
Friday. Why can't she come out on Tuesday anymore? And games used to come out on Tuesday.
They still
did
do.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do feel like there's a lot more things coming out on Friday because I don't stream at the weekend. So now I'm like, I take a couple of days off at the beginning of the week to stream at the weekend because all these games coming out on Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It used to be just Nintendo games came out on Friday. Now it's like a lot of.
Well,
I'm Brian Rabbit. You can find me. I just made a video about. Listen to this. I spent $350 on a fucking controller for video games. So I just made a video about it. So go check out the YouTube channel on that. I think that's it. That's all I've been up to lately. It's just fucking around with Street Fighter and like arcade sticks.
Nice.
Yeah.
Briar's gone full weeb, by the way, as well. It's been truly amazing.
I've watched so much anime lately. Like it's kind of ridiculous. So much. And it's all terrible. Like it's all terrible.
We're gonna have Briar on the anime show, and he's gonna explain to us the deep story of Street Fighter anime.
I can talk about all the Street Fighter animes and how each one of them is bad in its own individual and shitty way.
You know what? There's actually an anime I want to show you, Briar. I would love to know what you think about it. Is it about
Street Fighter?
No, it was it was this season, the studio's first anime they made, and it is hilarious how badly animated it is. It is truly phenomenal.
Hook me up. I'm beginning to have appreciation for bad anime now. It's just like, how bad can it get? Oh, this is pretty bad.
Pretty bad. You could have a whole series where you watch the lowest rated anime.
That's right.
Going from the bottom up.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm Teft to Teft. You can talk to me at Teft on Twitter. And I haven't been streaming lately, but I am planning on streaming Monster Hunter. Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Ooh, really?
Yeah. I'm actually finishing up an Xbox Series X unboxing video. Just pretend that the video came out in November when I post it. You know?
Well, now you can compare it in contrast to the videos that came out in November.
That's
How
true.
is it different now?
That's true.
Yeah.
You could go.
How was
Xbox,
the unboxing experience changed?
Xbox X amount of months later.
Yeah, I will say it is a very nice unboxing experience, and it's quickly becoming my favorite console. Although the Switch
Why
is really
is that?
nice.
Why is that?
I just use it more. Like it's my main
Because of Game Pass?
Game Pass and all the apps that I want work on there. I like the interface better. I think the PlayStation interface is always kind of like, yeah, it's, but like Xbox interface for me has always worked. It made more sense.
I get lost in the Xbox interface. Like I go looking for like settings or something. I'm like, where is it? I can't find it.
Yeah. Well,
I am a retard. So. I'm not supposed to say that word anymore. I'm sorry.
No, speaking of pulling up friends, Briar, stop it.
It pops out, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
There you go. So yeah, I got that video coming out pretty soon on my Tefty channel. We also released more music stuff on the music channel as well. And yeah, looking forward to more podcasting. So thank you very much for watching. We appreciate all the support, and we'll see you for Side Quest on Monday, right?
Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.